Go Pizza presents STP. The Steve Dangle Podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle and Adam.
Welcome to the process, everybody. Who is excited about the process? Are we having fun? We having a good time? You having a good time at home? Oh, yeah.
What are you doing?
The process. The process by which there will be pain, and there will be a little glimmer of hope down a very long, empty, scary hallway with knives. And we have to walk over those knives and let's say warm coals, and maybe there's salt on the ground too. Just, you get salt in the wound sometimes.
Oh.
Like, you know.
Why is that the worst?
Losing to the Bruins.
Oh.
Salt in that wound.
Adam, I think what my friend Adam is trying to say is progress is not always linear.
What I'm trying to say is, and I quote, "This was a night when the future of the Leafs, building a team around Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, and William Nylander, didn't seem to be a very sound approach." Can you tell me who said it? Who done said that? Who done wrote that quote?
I don't want to give that person a platform.
Who done wrote it?
Yeah, no, they're.
Do we know?
No, they're.
Yeah,
Do we
no,
know?
don't, no.
Do we all know?
Of course we do.
Okay.
Double S and okay. Bruins fans, bear with me. It would be really, really funny if the Leafs won. Just bear with me. So many people. Do you ever just dream about how insufferable you're going to be when the Leafs eventually win the cup? Oh, I'm going to be a piece of shit. I'm just going to be so awful. Oh, everyone's going to know. Good morning. The Leafs are Stanley Cup champions. And when I go to bed, good night. The Leafs are Stanley Cup champions. And by the way, I hope you're enjoying your lunch. The Leafs are Stanley Cup champions. And I'm going to do that for the rest of June. And I'm going to do that in July. I'm going to do that in August. I'm going to do that in September. I'm going to do that in October, in that little frame of October before the season has started. And guess what? Every loss, I'm going to be like, it's okay, the Leafs won the cup. Every win, I'm going to be like, it's another indicator that the Leafs won the cup. Oh, I'm going to be a piece of trash when they finally win this thing. And God, I hope the Leafs come back to beat the Bruins so many people can get indigestion and diarrhea from all the crow that they eat. I just cannot wait.
You don't even want the Leafs to win for the sake of winning anymore. It's just so people can eat shit on Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah, if I didn't have enough reason. Like, all those things
Like
are
that
a given.
pure winning thing, that's gone. It's more like that Twitter account is annoying and that Twitter account is
Adam,
annoying.
are you worried?
About Steve?
I'm worried.
Well, okay, tell me why you're worried.
The Leafs have turned Steve into a crazy man.
Is it the Leafs or is it Twitter? I think it's Twitter.com.
No,
It
it
is
is.
turned like this is a recent occurrence, Jesse.
I don't think it has ever gone this far.
See, when the Leafs were
where you
losing...
really-
you
when
are
the Leafs-
cheering for spite. That's a new level.
You know what, Jesse? Life is all about evolution. And I'm out here finding different levels. Okay? I'm doing it for me, for my fan base, for the team, for the history. Now it's for spite.
Now it's for anger.
Yeah, but it's not. You're acting like it's just for spite. No, that's just another reason. We'll throw that on the pile.
Oh, it's on the long, huge pile of reasons why the Leafs should win the cup.
I got my Felix Potvin lunchbox there, and he's got the old 1993 cat mask, and you open it, and it's just full of reasons. And now, can we find some? Yeah, there's some room in the corner next to hopeless optimism, and we'll just throw in spite. We'll just shove it in there. Just gotta get your
Well,
elbow on.
tell me what you've heard.
What do
Tell
you
me
mean
what
what
you've
I've
seen.
heard? Snarky Sens
what is
fans,
it?
eat my shorts. You don't even exist. At the moment, you don't even exist. Canucks fan, how dare you speak to me? Or any Leafs fan. Who are
Steve,
you?
this is Steve. You gonna step to this moment?
Are these people tweeting you directly?
Not directly. They're just, it's just shots. This one Habs fan sent me something this morning, and I'm like, I feel bad for you. Like,
Why?
I didn't say that.
Yeah. What did they send?
Hey, douchebag Dangle.
Ooh.
Which
Is that
is
a thing?
surprisingly not as common as you would think. Hey, douchebag Dangle.
Well, I think we have a new
laughs.
hashtag.
Wow.
I think we have a title of this episode.
Oh, me?
How far are we in? Like 3 minutes?
That's got to be a new record, man.
was
3 minutes in, we got douchebag dangle.
What was
April
the
20th.
5 minutes.
meme? The dude with the brown hat. It was like, no, dirtbag. Oh, friggin', I'm trying to remember. Dirtbag or scumbag or
Scumbag Steve?
I think it was scumbag Steve. That's kind of perfect then. Maybe
Wow.
we should just change it to Scumbag Steve.
Scumbag Steve.
Versus Douchebag Dangle. That's the guy.
That's
This
the guy.
one, yeah.
That's the guy. And
Scumbag
what's great-
Steve meme.
Man, that's every guy I went to high school with, by the way. Every guy I went to high school with who was sort of an a-hole.
We do know people who dressed identically to
Oh,
that.
yeah. I know
Couple of
groups
them
of
are
people.
cool. Yeah.
Groups of people.
What's great about this meme in particular is they've met a lot of real life people from memes, and apparently he's kind of a jerk, like in real life.
Well, are you surprised?
I don't know. We all went through a phase where we wore dumb stuff, and
I don't think this is a milkshake duck. Scumbag Steve become
If he turned out nice, would that be the milkshake?
that
duck?
would be the milkshake duck. Scumbag,
Oh yeah, no.
Scumbag
nice.
Steve is a nice guy. That would be
That's the
surprising.
reversal. That's
Yes.
the reversal. That he's
Milkshake Mallard.
He's a priest now.
What would that be? That's interesting.
Yeah.
What is the reverse of milkshake?
He heads up a children's charity.
Scumbag Steve is actually a lawyer.
Oh my god, it's. You know what though? I think Jesse is onto something. In
That you're a douchebag?
Yes.
Okay.
No, in that it is just such a good idea to get off social media sometimes, because as much as I'm yelling and screaming now, last night I was just like, this place sucks.
What?
And it wasn't the regular Twitter sucks. I was like, man, people I like suck at the moment.
Is it because
like
were you? Was it just because you were mad?
I was trying to think of the proper analogy in the car, and it's, you like to eat a variety of things, finger food or whatever, and
Yeah.
then after a while you realize, oh, I'm nauseous. I've eaten too much. There were too many takes to consume, and gave me an upset tummy. Like, just the factions are Matthews can do no wrong, and Matthews has cost the Leafs the series. You're both idiots. There's Jake Gardiner can do no wrong, and Jake Gardiner is terrible. You both don't understand. I don't know, a variety of things. Jake Gardiner, defense, hockey.
Watch your water.
Yeah, yeah. That was
Close that water. I would just put the lid on the water.
There
This
is.
is just you.
Here, I'll
This
put
is-
it over
No,
here.
no, just
Steve,
close the damn lid.
We know you, man. You're gonna knock that over,
Why
okay?
would you just close the
You,
lid?
you know you better than we do, and we got to tell you that.
There's Roman Polak is the last hope on this team. There's Roman Polak is a bum.
According to who?
There is, there is Travis Dermott. By the way, the only reason the Leafs aren't winning is because Travis Dermott's not playing half an hour. Did you know that?
Well,
you
he
know
does
that?
deserve more ice time. I will say
bet.
that.
You bet. Hey, my new favorite one is just now Babcock's a bad coach.
Oh, I heard
Just
that
now.
earlier in the season too. Remember when they went through that 20-game stretch where he was playing like super boring
Yeah.
hockey with them? Like, oh.
And what's weird
Mike
is
Babcock's
then
terrible.
they got really, really good. And I assume that fact stayed true the whole time, but you never heard it. And then the Leafs lose 3 out of 4 in the playoffs, and he's bad again.
Can
So
I
that's
bring
good.
up
He's bad again.
Greg Wyshynski's tweet about Babcock?
Can't wait.
Because he was on that
Oh,
train
we were
ride.
going back and forth, me and him, about something else. as
Were
well.
you?
Yep.
What was that something
Let's
else?
get into all of it. I don't care.
Oh,
I'm
that was
taking
the-
our
that was
receipts
the
on
Travis
everybody.
Yost tweet?
You bet. Let's go.
Sorry, I'm scrolling down the timeline and I
Does Wyshynski tweet a lot? Love you, Greg.
Greg,
I
we
found
do
it.
love you, man.
Yeah, but I had to
Stephen
like a
Birch
search.
thinks Greg Wyshynski tweets a lot. love you, Birch. Love you,
All
buddy.
right, I hope they both laughed at
Yeah,
that.
I hope so. I can't wait to read the 18 tweet thread about it. I'm excited.
Steve, the Leafs have got you in some sort of mood.
Read your thing, Jesse. Read it.
I will read Greg's thought, which was just a reminder that Mike Babcock is 14-22 in the playoffs since Nick Lidstrom retired, having advanced to the second round once since 2013.
Okay.
What are your thoughts, Adam Wild and Steve Dangle?
You go ahead.
Well, you got to look at these things individually, I think. Did anyone pick the Leafs to beat the Capitals last year?
No.
No. Okay. Well, that's Babcock's
Nobody
fault.
picked the Leafs to make the playoffs last year.
I
Except
want
for
to know
Jesse.
what were the previous
Jesse
series?
actually did that.
Because I knew, obviously.
Obviously you knew.
I knew.
You knew.
Yeah, I'm just smart.
What were Babcock's previous series? Because I seem to remember, since Nicholas Lidstrom retired, that was the downfall of the Detroit Red Wings.
As in the entire organization, yeah. And they couldn't figure out.
They were really, really good. Hey, since they made back-to-back finals, they've been on a bit of a downturn. No friggin' way. Like, I can't wait to read this in a few years when, the Penguins haven't made a Stanley Cup final in the 5 years since both Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin retired. Friggin' no way. Really. That's weird. That's just so strange
Penguins-
that when your best players leave and get old, that you're not as good.
The Penguins, when Mario Lemieux retired, never went back to the Stanley Cup final until Crosby Malkin.
And what a joke. What a joke.
So Babcock's record, again, Wyshynski says he hasn't made the second round once since 2013, which isn't too long ago. So
No, it's not.
this year, obviously, made the playoffs with the Leafs.
Yeah, since 2013, by the way, which I guess accounts for every year since 2013, which also includes the year the Leafs intentionally finished last.
It does. So he lost in the first round last year, 15-16.
Whoa, that's so weird. Because everyone expected the Capitals to crumble and fall at the hands of the juggernaut Toronto Maple Leafs.
With Martin Marincin on the second pair.
What a story! Oh, Miracle on Ice, Mystery Alaska,
I'm just gonna say.
the Mighty Ducks, last year's President's Trophy winning Washington Capitals. What a story!
Who got through the Leafs in the first round. God bless him.
What a story!
What a,
Alex
what a
Ovechkin,
band of underdogs.
What a just pull yourself up by your bootstraps story. So happy.
They only had probably the most prolific goal scorer in history in their lineup.
So what?
And one of the NHL's best goaltending duos.
Hey, you know what? So glad that they could hold on and pull off the upset. What a Buster Douglas right there.
Okay, let's keep going, Jesse. There's more to read, I'm assuming.
Are you going through
Are
it?
we good?
Yeah, let's keep going.
Look, I'm sure someone's going to be like, actually, in
Someone's going to actually?
Oh, someone will definitely.
in 20,
Yeah.
the Red Wings were favored to beat. Shut up! Shut up! Really?
Is anybody here's the thing. If everybody
And,
just,
and then I can keep going with this?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Doesn't LeBron have a losing record in the final?
Yes.
Bum.
He's lost more finals.
Trash. Trash
He
bum.
hasn't won as many championships as Jordan or Kobe, so that makes him not good.
Trash bum.
No. Here's what I want to say. Is anybody really gonna look at Mike Babcock's tenure in Toronto and dispute the fact that he's a really good coach? Are they real? Are you really?
How about this?
You
Too
can
many
question
stories.
decisions. You can question decisions. I get it. Lineup decisions. There's a lot of lineup decisions I don't agree with as well. I agree with you. But
And there's so many coaches that are just infallible.
are we so sure? Really? Okay, so he hasn't made the second round since 2013, and I'm sure he doesn't like that either. But you can't tell me what he's done with the Leafs in the last 3 seasons hasn't been enormous. Enormous. They just set a franchise record for points and wins in a season. Now, I don't care what you say about they lost a bunch of overtime games, and that would account. You're absolutely right. Or they won a bunch of overtime games, and that wouldn't account, or whatever. Fine. They still set a franchise record in wins. 101 years. Mike Babcock coached this team this year to that.
Yeah. What? I
But
feel
the
like
Vegas
most
Golden
people.
Knights also have a better record than the Leafs this season.
Whoa.
So,
Got you
Adam,
there.
wow. So
Shit
does
for
their
brains.
record.
Got you there. An expansion team is better than the Leafs. Ha ha, dickhead.
You know what needs to happen? Every coach who finished under the Vegas Golden Knights needs to lose his job. Every single one of them.
Yep.
How
There you
dare
go.
they? How dare they? Only Gerard Gallant and Nashville's coach, Laviolette.
Why am I forgetting?
Laviolette
There you go.
Can
Yeah.
can keep their jobs. Everybody else must go.
Yep. That's I always say, Adam.
Sorry.
So in
Firing Joel Quenneville is preposterous.
in 2015,
But Babcock, out! Get out!
in 2015/16, Mike Babcock did not qualify for the playoffs.
What a loser!
Are you telling me
What place did he finish?
that with a team stacked, stacked to the brim with P.A. Parento, pre-good Michael Grabner,
Brad Boyce.
and Brad Boys didn't find success? Someone call up any coach from the Southern Pro League and throw him in and watch the Leafs thrive.
You know, when David Booth is on your third line, that's a superstar team right there.
That team was so stacked that some nights Brad Boys and David Booth were healthy scratches.
Wow.
They still couldn't get it
And
done.
let's not even talk about how great Eric Brewer was.
That guy played over 1,000 games in this league. Olli Jokinen, former third overall pick. Are you telling me you can't make the playoffs with them?
Bum.
Joakim Lidstrom, whose name is close to Nicholas Lidstrom, who was pretty good, I recall. And Babcock got him back.
But Babcock can't win without him, unfortunately.
Yes.
So
Nick
Lidstrom's the only reason Mike Babcock's won a cup. There's the logic
not
right there.
Nick. Joakim Lidstrom is clearly the Shaq to Babcock's Kobe. I can't wait to see that rap video come out. I can't wait. Yes?
I feel bad
Why?
because you are dissecting a tweet so hard and aggressively.
Oh, no, I'm not attacking. Sorry. I don't want this to get misconstrued. This is not me attacking Wish. This is attacking this. You know how many people.
It's a bad narrative. It's a bad narrative.
How many
one
people
that's
buy
going
into
on
this though?
currently.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what we're attacking. It's the narrative. Obviously, we're not
So
attacking.
many people.
attacking
This
great.
isn't even my least favorite one from the game.
Okay. So if
Leafs win this game, we don't hear shit about this.
everyone is
What,
buying
Leafs win
into
the series? He's great.
Yeah.
He's great.
He's been to the second round more than once since 2013.
Once. There
I
you go.
guess.
You got it. Bada bing, bada boom. You got it. Four games changes your opinion. Just 180. Just completely flips it.
How about we
Leafs
just-
come back? Is he good again? Oh God, please come back.
Oh, he'd be
Please
one of
come back.
He's one of the great coaches.
Oh my God.
What
a story.
Again, I'd like to rewind to the beginning of this episode where building your team around Nylanders, Matthew, and Marner, terrible idea.
Well,
And
I
Mike
know,
probably knows that.
I know Mike Augello, Mike in Buffalo, calls him 90-second Willie because he only talks for 90 seconds in his scrums. But at least he shows up. Not like that bum with no integrity, Austin Matthews, who
Wow.
apparently ducks the media.
Wow. Well, you know what? If he doesn't want to talk to people after a hard loss, that makes him a bad person.
Trash. Now, this was a conversation. It wasn't an argument. It was a conversation I was having with Wish, was going on this subject.
We should bring him on.
We should bring him on. Actually, I thought about it.
We should have thought it.
Oh, well.
He would have just been, honestly, there's nobody who's better at pushing buttons than Wish, and I think it would be really funny.
He would have
to
had
listen
an
to.
internal battle with himself. Oh, I think Austin Matthews should have talked to the media. Oh, I don't think he should have talked to them at all. Nobody likes a Charlie in the box. Look, the discussion we were having was, he was talking about, it was a couple games ago, Matthews said, shit happens.
Shit happens. Right.
And he goes, well, that's like what we want out of you, like that kind of honesty. And I believe him when he says that, and I think he means it when he says that. He finds that interesting and compelling, and I found it interesting and
with him.
compelling. It was the quote that came out of that. So in that sense, he's absolutely right. Even if you're barely going to say anything, you should talk. But what he maybe missed, because it was more of a local thing, is he got criticized for that. He said shit happens, and people started calling out his leadership.
He swore. What is
Well,
that?
yep. And they
Kinda
started
leader is
calling him
that?
out. And now he says nothing, and they call him out. So the lesson to be taken here, kids, go out there, give as little effort as possible in front of the mic, do it for 90 seconds, leave, they'll leave you alone. That's the lesson. So just perpetuate the cycle of boring hockey players. Let's go. Like, what I don't understand, especially here in Toronto, and, the rest of Canada, please don't take this the wrong way, but when it comes to covering hockey, this is the show. Everyone busts their ass to work here. whether they're born here or not, maybe they'll go work somewhere else in the country and they work their way up to this. They work their way up to the biggest market in the country, or maybe you just want to stay home. But most people, when they want to be where the action is, they come to Toronto, which means these people know what they're talking about. They're experienced. You don't need a quote from Austin Matthews to write your article. And think about this. If Matthews says something, okay, so you're watching the game. He has a bad game. And the truth is he didn't have a very good game. So you're watching him have a bad game. And then he says something in the 70, 80 seconds that he's talking to you where he just goes, you know what? We got to be accountable. We're not going to make any excuses for ourselves. We just got to come back, have a big game 5, and we're going to have a big game 5. And that changes your opinion of the shitty game he had. Your opinion stinks. It was swayed by that tripe. He had a bad game, right? That he had a bad game. You don't need him to tell you. What's all this about accountability? Well, accountability will be how he plays in game 5, yes. Which you obviously don't know yet, and I guess you're on a deadline and you're panicked or something. But do you really need that? Listen, I'm not a regular beat reporter, but I've done this a few times, and never have I ever been like, shit, I could really use a quote right now. I don't know how this is going to get done.
Just tell the story about how the game went.
Yeah, I don't know how I've never once gone, I don't know how I'm going to talk about this game without a quote. And yeah, I got a lot more time to do it. The LFRs come the day after, usually. I don't know how these people write on the deadline that they do, whatever it is, like 1 a.m. or whatever, midnight. I don't know how they do that. That's crazy. But the idea that a quote from Austin Matthews, A, makes or breaks your piece, or B, shows that he's a better leader is ludicrous to me. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
I think to expand on that, quotes are really only good in my estimation anyway when they're furthering a narrative, right? There's a theme around the game that occurs that you were going to tell anyway, and the players comment on that theme, and it kind of provides their perspective into it. You know, Mike Babcock's actually quite good at giving them things to talk about. It's usually his quotes that we're talking about, and he drops little gems in here and there that you're like, oh, okay,
and
that's
he
interesting.
called out Austin Matthews.
Yes.
So if you needed a quote talking about how he had a bad game, there it is. There's your quote. You got it right there. You didn't even have to go into the locker room to get it. You got the nice cushy room where they set up all the chairs for the coach. It's right there.
People criticized Babcock for saying that he called out his players.
Who said that?
I can read you tweet. I just searched Babcock on Twitter.
So
do you want me to read through
the
things that Torontonians are saying
for the record,
about
I'm
Babcock?
against this. I think this is bad. I don't think we go through these. Unless, is it legitimate news source or is it Twitter?
Give me one.
Is it random person on Twitter?
I can give you.
Is it Hot Take Twitter or is it Hot Take Media Twitter?
Let me see.
This would be random Twitter.
I don't think so.
No?
Not interested.
Okay.
Don't care.
Not interested.
Are we really? Do we really? Like, really?
We also have a friend.
Don't say the name. Sorry, Adam. We need one.
Okay.
We teased it enough that we can't.
Adam, why are you against Hot Take Twitter?
Because
those are the people who are the casual fans who watch the game.
Sure.
And they hopped online
And
to
you know
give
what's
their
cool about
opinion.
casual fans? They're fucking wrong all the time.
Yeah.
And you know
And
what?
right.
And right sometimes too.
Look up fans who have the opposite opinion of this.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like everybody, here's the thing. With Twitter, it's everybody reacts on both sides. There are shows where I literally have one DM, because a lot of people just DM me now instead of just writing it on Twitter. They'll DM me and go, "You're shit," and then the next DM I'll get is, "You're great," and it's on the same topic.
And neither are right. You know,
Never let them build you up or tear you down too far.
Exactly. I disagree, though. I think the one who said you're great is correct.
Thank you, Steven.
Is our friend Jeff a credible news source?
I think Jeff knows a lot.
Opinion source.
I think Jeff knows an awful lot. What did he say?
The reality is, Toronto's backs are against the wall. And when given an opportunity to protect his players and let them regroup, Babcock chose to give an absolute feast of a quote that throws 2 of his 3 stars to the wolves. See it as you will. I personally don't like it.
Absurd. That's
I
absurd.
disagree. I disagree completely.
Why?
Because a little truth and honesty diffuses the situation. What Mike Babcock is saying is acknowledging what we all saw, and he didn't say, hey, they were bad, because I don't think they were bad. I think they were ineffective. And I think they would tell you that. And I think when he goes out there and he says, I thought they were going to dominate, they thought they were going to dominate, and it didn't happen, it just means they didn't execute. That's all it is, guys. He didn't say they were bad.
And
that's if that's a feast of a quote, then that just tells you that this team gives you nothing. And that's the problem I have with this is is there any great revelation in anybody saying that William Nylander and Austin Matthews did not play to their full potential last night?
People were saying it anyway.
Exactly.
People were
so
saying
when the
it
coach
anyway.
acknowledges it, I'm like,
understand.
okay, well, he's being honest. Cool. All right. I'm sure Austin and Willie know. I'm sure. And that's the thing. I'm sure they're probably like, yeah, we didn't play a great game. If you're owning how you played for real, that's not going to bother you.
Here's all I'm getting. Talk and say nothing. Lie. Just be bland, be vanilla. And then we turn around and we go, well, why are hockey
boring.
people so boring? Because you're all psychopaths. This language policing is insane. It's insane. Let people talk. Let people say what they want to say.
That's real life right now, actually. That's in all sectors. Language policing is insane right now.
We're not even talking about specific words. We're talking about just saying
It's a
how you
hypothetical-
feel about your own team.
Yeah.
The hell's going on? I don't understand. And by the way, can we just mark down the first ever bone that William Nylander has ever been thrown? Can we just mark down the first time Sniz bone was completely let off the hook?
What do you mean?
Oh my God. Okay, Babcock called him out a little bit. Justin Bourne, I think I saw, sent a tweet basically talking about how Nylander was frustrating. Yeah, you guys passed that around in our little Facebook group.
I missed that one.
I sent it. Nylander wasn't skating.
I missed some of the
Those
stuff.
were like the only two people I saw criticize Willie. So
I saw the,
last night was okay. Can we just say what it is at its core? People are grumpy the Leafs lost Game 4. That's it. Like, Matthews didn't have the greatest game, and he should have had a spectacular game. What I was saying is the Bruins were ripe for the taking with Bergeron out of the lineup. Matthews and Nylander should have had a feast, and Hyman was playing really well.
But what we also got from last night, because we were all three of us were there, Jesse and I were in the MasterCard
that's
seats.
right, that's right.
Is that Mike Babcock's a bad coach. And that's what I extrapolated from 60 minutes of hockey. Mike Babcock, bad coach.
Plekanec finally got his first goal. Marner had a banger of a night.
He is the second coming of Gretzky.
Yeah. Janssen was good. Kapanen was good. Brown, I thought, had a fantastic game.
What did Wish go on to say? You saw
After
that?
that tweet?
Yeah.
I can bring up his
I
timeline
feel
again.
bad.
and
I hope
scroll.
people don't think it was attacking Wish.
I don't think. What?
I also think Wish can take a couple jabs.
I think Wish would come back at you.
Good.
Which is good.
Great.
Now,
On which podcast? You'll never know.
you should come on this one.
He's got 19. Oh, then now he's got 20. He's got an
invested.
even 20 at him.
Dude, I'd love to have Greg on again.
Oh, totally.
He did not follow up with any more comments.
So maybe Greg was
on
just dropping a stat.
Babcock.
Like, it's true. He hasn't gone to the second round.
Well, Greg
It's an interesting stat to drop.
Greg does something that I don't have the strength. Like, he just drops every thought. Every thought he has is a bomb too, and he just throws them all on Twitter. All of them. Like, he loves talking hockey. He loves it, and he doesn't care what you throw at him, if it's good, if it's bad. He just loves talking hockey. But throwing out that much on Twitter, like, I always tell people, like, save a bit of it. Save a bit of it. Yeah, like, how does that guy have like 5 or 6 podcasts? He's got his blog. I know he does a lot of radio hits. I think he does some TV as well. I just don't know how you then dump 50, 60 tweets a day onto
thing-
the site.
Kiprios was on Tim and Sid this afternoon, and he said about Matthews and Nylander and Marner not coming out to do post game that it might have not been their decision.
Oh, so it wasn't even just them. Or, sorry, it wasn't even just Matthews. It was Nylander and Marner,
Yeah,
too.
nobody.
I
yeah.
would have never known that.
Yeah, so the three
The
of
way
them
it's been
all
talked
didn't
about.
come out for post game, and he's like,
But Matthews didn't, guys. The non-captain, non-even letter-wearing player.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting. That's interesting that you say that. I don't know if those players have the clout within the Toronto Maple Leafs organization yet to say no to those things. That's a good point. I know they're the team's 3 best players, but I actually don't know if they're able to tell Steve Keogh, head of media there, no, I'm not doing it. I don't know if they have that kind of clout yet.
And
That's an interesting
Yeah,
point.
because since day one, they've been babying them. Or protecting them. I shouldn't say baby.
Yeah, they haven't been babying them.
Protecting them from the media. And maybe this was another thing.
Might be their
if
decision.
I know that they probably didn't do this, but if I'm Steve Keogh and they lose like that, the only people I want out there are people with A's on their jerseys.
Yeah.
There's no C. So I'd be sending the captains out. Now, I want to give a little perspective. I think it's important after last night's game. I had tweets today asking me if the Leafs could ever win a cup without a captain. Yes, they can. How? Well, they have to score more goals than their opponent in 16 straight games.
Everyone, please stop talking about the series like it's over.
It's
not.
Here's what I want to give some perspective, though. I think this is important. Let's compare the best. Let's compare the Leafs, not compare the Leafs to the best, but let's talk about the best dynasties recently. Okay? Last 30 years.
Sure.
35 years now.
Sure.
Gretzky's Oilers, when they first entered the league, lost in the first round.
Yep.
Then the next year, they lost in the second round.
All right.
The year after that, they lost in the third round. And then they got swept in the finals by the New York Islanders.
In the final.
And then they barely, and I mean skin of their teeth, barely won in 1984. Ask Islanders fans how they feel about that one, by the way. 7-game series, the Trottier, Bossy, Potvin Islanders, and the Oilers just squeaked a win out. The Islanders almost went 5 for 5.
It's like a little bit like the Penguins. You know, lost in the final, and they barely, Marc-Andre Fleury diving across the crease to stop Nicholas Lidstrom. And with that, all of Mike Babcock's powers were zapped out of him like the Highlander.
And he became a bad coach.
And he just forgot how. He was like Charles Barkley after the Monstars got him, and just stumbling around the bench. He's got his lineup card upside down. He doesn't know what to do. He has no idea how to coach. And he's just been skating by. No pun intended.
The Penguins drafted Mario Lemieux, and he made his debut in 1984. Scored a goal in his first shift. Right?
There it is.
Right? This is back when the league had 21 teams, 16 of which made the playoffs. Penguins missed the playoffs that year.
That's pretty bad.
Do you know that the next year they missed the playoffs?
No.
Did you know that the year after that they also missed the playoffs?
Holy. They
you
were
know
bottom
that-
5 for 3 straight years?
Did you know that they also missed the playoffs after that year too?
4 straight years.
Yeah. And then they made the playoffs. But then they lost to Philly in the second round. And you know what they did the next year? They missed the playoffs.
Holy shit, really?
And then the next year after that, they won the Stanley Cup.
I would love to read the Mario takes.
The Gretzky takes, the Mario takes. Listen,
Can
they're all out
Lemieux
there.
do it? Can Lemieux do it?
One of 5 teams to miss the playoffs 4 out of 5 years.
pretty bad.
5 out of 6 years.
It's even worse than missing the playoffs in the OHL.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And can we just hold on? Can everybody just chill the F out for just a second here? Is Boston
I
a
have a
better
problem
team? Have
with
they been a
this.
better team in this series?
Yes.
Yes.
They weren't last
100%.
night, which is the frustrating
Right.
part. That's a gimme. But
Can the Leafs have, especially for the first 2 games, but are the Leafs better than what we've seen?
Yep.
Absolutely. Do the Leafs' hopes rest on a bunch of guys who are not even 22 yet?
Yeah, I don't really look at it as an excuse, to be
But
honest.
is that the case?
Yeah.
So here's the
Like,
thing.
what if they, I
My
think
point is
stupid
this.
things to myself, like, what if they lost differently?
It's
Would it be
the
less of an issue?
process. This is a part of it. This is a part of it. LeBron didn't make it to the finals in his first year. Neither did Michael Jordan.
We thought Payne's coming meant, a bunch of top 5 picks. Nope.
And you know what?
This
I'll
is the
take this
pain.
pain over that pain. I'll take playoff pain. I'll take losing in the first round over finishing last any day.
Me too, but it still hurts.
Sure.
Jesse, you were just gonna. Drop
I
something.
don't understand why you're comparing the Leafs to these dynasties.
Well, because
like
all
they're
the
some
point
sort
is-
of dynasty.
the point is-
I think we should be comparing them to this team that did not qualify for the playoffs. Did not qualify for the playoffs. Did not qualify for the playoffs. Lost in the first round. Didn't make the playoffs. Lost in the quarterfinals. Lost in the quarterfinals. You know who that team is?
The Atlanta Thrashers.
I think he's talking.
Vancouver Canucks.
Oh.
Because Adam, sometimes dynasties don't win.
That's true.
And the
Sometimes
Leafs-
don't win.
And the Leafs could be a dynasty that don't win. Stop getting your
Wow,
hopes up.
let's get negative about it for
Let's-
sure. Especially 2 years into Austin Matthews'
We
career.
should crush this now and expect the next 5 years to miss the playoffs 4 out of the 5 times, like the Canucks did from 13 to 18.
How many cups did Taves and Kane win before 2010?
How many cups do the Sedins have?
Right. You're right.
Being great doesn't get you cups. Austin Matthews is a great player,
Oh,
but
Jesse
he
is
may
Twitter.
never win a cup because great players don't always win.
And when he does win one, it'll be he may never win two.
See, you already gave him one. Toronto homer right here.
Oh yeah.
You know, you ever think about a player like Marcel Dion? You know, I think he's the leading scorer among players to never win the cup. Generally considered the greatest player to never win the cup. Do you ever think he wonders to himself, God, if only I gave better answers after the game. If only I gave better answers after the game, we might have pulled it off. We would have skated around in all our purple and gold glory with the Stanley Cup held high. If I had just said, yeah, well, you know, we played for each other and, you know, we played hard, but, you know, we got to execute better. If only he had gone out and done that harder. If he had committed to his vanilla, just freaking oatmeal with no cinnamon answers. If only, maybe he'd be a Stanley Cup champion. We'll never know.
I mean, it is a good point.
It took Phil Kessel leaving Toronto to actually win something.
Mm-hmm.
What does that say about this city?
I think Jesse's got a point.
That is, I have seen that so many times.
It took Larry
It's
Murphy.
unbelievable.
One day I'm just going to write for The Onion but hockey.
We'll call it the Bunyan. I don't know.
That's not.
They have Onion Sports. Or isn't
You
there
should write for Onion. You would be great at Onion Sports.
Jesse's version of that site would just every now and then he would mix in a take he really believes in, and we won't know the difference.
You wouldn't know.
We'll make the playoffs 2 years ago. Okay, so here's let's just get down to the brass taxes here, which is
The brass,
brass taxes.
Brass taxes.
the steel boots,
The fact is,
the potato wrapped in tinfoil.
the fact of the matter is, the Leafs defense is just not very good. It's not. It's not very good at all. Can you guys fucking really move on? It wasn't that funny. Come on.
It's just
Go ahead, Adam.
my sister has a Disney VHS. And one of them has a preview for the Aristocats on it.
Aw.
And when you said brass tacks, all I could think of was one of the cats going, "Lay some skin on me, scat cat." I don't know why. Just you talking
See,
like
but
that.
only
Only
Steve
Steve gets
can
it.
find that funny.
I thought it was
because
funny.
literally no one else has seen
I
that.
thought it was funny.
All the Steves in Steve's head are laughing right now.
Hat guy.
There's an audience of
Just
Steves
losing
just
it.
losing their mind. I was there too.
Oh my god! I remember that.
That guy's a real person, you piece of shit. How dare you?
He's a man.
And he lives inside of your ears.
The fact of the matter is,
That's not true.
Let's
My
just
ears
be
are
straight.
not big enough for an adult man.
The Leafs
Which
defense
he is.
not good enough. Period. And it's not just systems. I've said
Good
this,
enough for what?
I said this in January.
Good enough for what?
That's a good question.
It's not good enough for this series. I don't think it is.
But they outplayed them last game.
The defense didn't.
The team did, though.
Sure. But I think my point is this. Just give me a sec. Dude, I said one sentence. You're already ready to roll.
But
me.
if there's problems in your sentence, Adam, it's
I'm not
problematic,
ready to roll
and we
you.
need to
I'm ready to
deconstruct
roll
this.
the idea that this friggin' series is over. We're
not.
already looking to next season.
Dude.
We're already in June.
You can't tell me.
Forget what's going on in my head.
You
Everyone's
can't
head
tell
is
me.
in June.
You
What are you
cannot-
going to do for the next 2 months? If you're already
Let
there,
me back up my point.
go ahead.
Tell us how we should sign John Carlson, Adam.
I have said it from the beginning of the season.
How are you going to have money left when you got Tavares? What have you said since the beginning of the season?
The Leafs defense is
Come
not
on,
deep
Adam,
enough.
hurry up.
They don't
I got
have
a
the
pool to
talent.
jump in right now.
They don't
It's
have the
June.
talent.
What, Jesse? My pina colada is getting warm here, all right? What?
They don't have the talent.
They don't have the talent to win game 5?
Sure they do. But I just don't think that this defense is good enough, and I don't think it's been good enough all year.
Yeah, well, it's too late. We're in the middle of the playoffs now.
So, okay, well, we're talking about what has happened so far in this series. And the joking aside, the fact is the defense has never been good on this team.
Yeah.
We got good pieces, but is the defense as a whole good? No, it's not.
What are we going to write about like next week? Like if the Leafs get eliminated, what are we going to do? The same thing?
If the
Are we
Leafs
going
win-
to self-retweet?
If the Leafs win, I'm still going to say the defense is not deep enough, guys. It still needs improvement. No matter what, if they win the cup, I'm still going to say they need improvement.
Well, and
The numbers justify it,
That's
guys.
not right.
And now Babcock's job is to just walk into that room and go, all right, boys, you're not good enough. And then walk away. And then walk away because that's all there is. Those are the players he has right now. No, I know that.
Yeah,
but those are
and part of the problem is the way they're being deployed.
What I would rather, yes, I'd rather talk about how you get something out of this nothing that the defense
here's my problem, okay? You got three really good, one great, one really good, and one young but still really good defenseman. Riley's the great one. Gardner's pretty damn good. Dermott is going to be amazing, and he's young, but he's already great. He's already really great. The problem is you have to pair those guys with Hainsey, Polak, and the ghost of Nikita Zaitsev.
What was Hainsey doing in the offensive zone?
Well, hang on just a
last
sec
night?
here. The fact that Dermott on the third pairing, Mike Babcock even said this. He said, Polak gets the puck to Dermott so Dermott can make the first pass out of the zone. I mentioned this in the last episode. It was abundantly clear yesterday that whenever Roman Polak has the puck in his own zone, he's looking for Dermott. So what do the Boston Bruins do? They crowd Dermott. So what does Polak do? He ices the puck. Well, does anybody keep track of how many icings come from one player? Because Roman Polak has to lead that.
Well, Berkshire, he's working with, I forget the name of the company. The Point.
At The Point Hockey on Instagram, by the way, you should check them out.
And they're doing a lot of like minutia stats. There's that word. And it was the Leafs are one of the worst teams in the league at holding the puck at the blue line. Well, Bruins got 2 goals off that last night, and one of them was Dermott's fault. Straight up. Sure. Like a lot of people were like, where was the forward support? And I'm like, but Matthews is supposed to read Dermott's mind and see into the future that Dermott's going to make a mistake. And then there appeared to be like a miscommunication with Polak someone please tell the Leafs how to play 2-on-1s.
Just take,
for the love of God,
take the pass.
Take someone.
Just take the pass.
It literally looked like, you said it, an NHL 14 goal where you just have the 2-on-1.
Just across the crease.
You go across, and every time it worked in NHL, and it worked last night for the Bruins.
For some reason, it doesn't work in NHL anymore.
They got to cut that off. But it works in real life, which is not supposed to happen.
Polak's was bad. He went down and looked like he made an attempt for the puck. Zaitsev's, I'm like, no one taught you to do that. Mm-hmm. No one has ever shown you that that's how you play a 2-on-1. You panicked. Mm-hmm. No one told you that was a good idea. Mm-hmm. Holy, do the Leafs have to rehabilitate that asset this summer, or they're boned. They got 6 more years. Oh, yeah.
I think they will. I don't see it. Listen,
there's the one thing I'll definitely criticize Mike for. We think he's a real good player. I disagree. I don't believe you, Mike.
Well, hang on a sec here. I think that he was a good player last year. And I think that
he was all right.
They made a bet. And thus far, it doesn't look like a great bet. But I will say this.
It's a hell of a bad bet.
If Nikita Zaitsev gets 90% of his game back next year, which he easily could, we're not talking about this.
Well, and it's such simple things.
Exactly. I get it. He can't make a first pass out of the zone. I get it. He's not doing anything. I get it. But we're forgetting that Nikita Zaitsev played like Nikita Zaitsev last year and was pretty good. And maybe he wasn't worth that contract. I am not going to stand in your way. But the fact of the matter is, that really isn't your problem. He's really the least of the problems. If Ron Hainsey is playing the minutes he's playing with Morgan Riley and the minutes he's playing on a penalty kill, he just can't. He just can't. He never has in his entire career.
Except for 20 games once.
Ron Hainsey is your third pairing guy who penalty kills like a mofo. Like, play him... Whatever third pairing minutes? 13 to 15 minutes?
Yeah, 15.
Okay. Play him that and then put him on the penalty kill. Fine. Do that. But don't put him in your first pairing role. He can't do it. That's too much.
Did Ron Hainsey not win a Stanley Cup?
He did. And he was great for 20 games, though, or 25 games or whatever.
So-
He's now had to do it for 80.
Better question, Jesse. Mike Sullivan is 2 for 2 as a head coach, winning the Stanley Cup. Best of all time?
Possibly.
He's
He's
what is
never-
his record's 1,000%, right? He's hitting.
Matt Murray, greatest goaltender ever.
Yeah. Patrick Waugh and Scotty Bowman can eat shit compared to...
Yeah. Patrick Waugh did
Compared
win
to
it in
those
his
two.
first year, but not his second. So,
Well, he went downhill. Got
did.
it back a couple times.
yeah.
But otherwise
was never the same.
trash.
I think the point is Ron Hainsey has proven that he can win. But when he's on the Leafs,
I think
he's
Ron
proven
Hainsey's-
that he can't win because of the shirt he's wearing,
Right. It
which
has to
is
be
the
logo.
Toronto one,
Well, Jesse, I don't
which
think we
is
can
not a
overlook...
winning logo.
I don't think we can overlook how bad Hainsey's answers usually are. I don't think we can overlook that, and I think that might contribute to why he shoots into shin pads 90% of the time.
Right.
If we played Ron Hainsey more, would we win more? Because he knows how to win.
I think if he said more, he would get more minutes, which would clearly lead to him having success and therefore the team.
Would Babcock also throw him under the bus?
No, because again, Hainsey would have said enough. I'm going to help him write a book in the summer. Hainsey's writing a book, by the way, and
cool. I'd read
and
that.
that would lead them to success. Babcock is not going to throw anyone under the bus who doesn't deserve it. I hope, even though he's 2 teams removed from the Leafs, Babcock throws Phaneuf under the bus for not talking once a couple years ago.
Is Ron Hainsey Babcock's new Nicholas Lidstrom?
I mean, that's giving Nicholas Lidstrom a little too much credit, don't you think?
I agree.
Yeah. I cannot wait for Ron Hainsey to lead Sweden to more Olympic gold medals than Nicholas Lidstrom ever did.
How many is Lidstrom?
Guys,
I
this
don't know.
I
conversation
don't know.
sucks. We're losing
Your
listeners.
conversation sucks.
This
Shut
sucks,
up.
okay? The fact is, the deployment's not good. I'm trying to actually get down to the actual game here. The deployment's not good. Hainsey in that role is unfair to him.
Here, let's go to game 5. Let's go to game 5. What should we do with Hainsey in game 5?
Third pair.
Third with Zaitsev, you think?
Even if he's on the second pair. Yeah, but I'd put him with Zaitsev on the third pair. And then I'd have Dermott Carrick, call me crazy. I'd have a guy who can skate in there.
Yeah, is it time to scratch Zaitsev? I don't know. Babcock's never going to do that. That's the problem.
Who's your first line?
I put Riley and Gardner together, and I play him 30
I don't think
minutes.
you change that at this point in the season.
Why not?
I don't
Play
think
him
you,
30
I don't think you
minutes.
just try out Riley Gardner in Game 5
Well,
elimination
what they've
game.
been doing hasn't worked. So you got to do something, and why wouldn't you ride your 2 best
It
defensemen?
did, but it did work last game.
What, with the 2 of them together?
The Leafs outplayed the Bruins last game. It was like 3 bad mistakes,
Yeah.
and the Bruins just getting in their head or out physical. Like, I don't know what happened there, but they outplayed them for the
2
majority of the game.
catastrophic defensive errors.
And
Sure,
the
that's-
Leafs
but that's been
could
the
not
thing all
get an
year.
offensive bounce to save their lives.
Yeah,
that's true,
That
too.
was one of the
Yeah.
most frustrating hockey games I've ever watched.
Mm-hmm.
And we got a torturous game getting us tearing our hair out. Dude, Matthews almost had 2 goals last night. Almost.
Also, Tuukka Rask played incredible.
Tuukka played
did.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you know what's important, I think, is that we don't give the Bruins credit. I think that's important. Torrey Krug has a terrible shot.
But he played well yesterday.
We let 2 call-ups in Pasternak feed fellow black ace Brad Marchand. And then I don't even remember who the third goal was. Oh, it was Jake DeBrusk, who's actually a rookie. But, dude, I don't know. I'm getting... It's just, we followed up game 3, which was such fun magic to talk about, with this nightmare of a game and nightmare of a reaction. Like, guys, if the Leafs ever make it to the Stanley Cup final, how is anyone gonna make it? How are Leafs fans gonna make it 2 months?
We used to be able to do it.
You can't do 4 games. Guys, if the Leafs ever get better than this, we're in trouble. we're in trouble.
Okay, I mean, I
they
think-
better free up some beds in
I think
Toronto
you're- I
hockey.
think you're overreacting.
I think
No,
you're being a little
not.
dramatic here.
This might
Absolutely
be a
not.
little bit of
You
hyperbole.
think Leafs fans can handle a four-round playoff run?
I think everything's
You're out of your
fine right
mind.
now
I think
as
it's
well.
gonna be fine.
I think they're going to play tomorrow night and everything's
I think they're actually going
good.
to play really well tomorrow night. I really do. I believe it. I believe it. 'Cause
Ask the fire department if they think Twitter handled last night well. They don't. Okay? They're still responding.
the point I am making, back to this, is yes, the reaction has been hysterical. I agree, 100%. But I also think there are some weaknesses on this team that
Yep.
Boston is taking advantage of.
Yep.
And they're doing a really good job of it. And that's the thing. It's that the Leafs outplayed them 100%. But then Boston takes advantage of those weaknesses
Yes.
when they show. And that's the thing that the Bruins, it's like they're like an assassin. They just wait, gotcha.
They are
wait, gotcha.
very, very good, and nobody's giving them enough credit.
Well, I mean, the Bruins, because they have and it's beyond the best line in hockey, which for sure is great.
Where's the Lou criticism?
The Lucre, hold on, man. We're on the Boston
Let's
Bruins right now.
not.
Can we
Well,
stick
no,
to
I was
this
just
for
thinking about
No,
like,
Adam.
But
Why are we?
What about the 76-year-old man?
who's the GM of the team.
I know.
The defense isn't good enough. The
It's
GM
not.
assembles the
But
team.
But it goes back to my original
Oh,
point.
my God.
GM
which
is bum.
This is part of the process. It's part of the process. The forwards are great. And you know what? These young guys coming in, Janssen and Kapanen, how great did they look again last night?
Pretty good.
Right?
I look forward to how they play in Game 5.
I look forward to how they play in round 2.
Adam,
Yeah.
I tweeted Leafs in 7 right after the game last night. I believe. But I also think that they got to change up a little. They have to tweak the way they're executing things, especially in the Boston Garden, where they don't have the ability to change second.
Toronto Garden.
Toronto Dominion Garden,
Yeah.
especially in the Toronto Dominion Garden. You're absolutely right.
But why aren't we criticizing Kyle Dubas? What about Dubas?
You have not developed enough good young defensemen, Dubas.
You know what? Longtime Leafs equipment manager Brian Papineau
Deserves some criticism.
gave my wife a puck last game. What if that puck had the Leafs like 5th goal on it?
I have a problem.
What?
When the game ended last night, I asked for a puck and I didn't get one.
You asked for a puck?
I asked him for a puck because SL texted and was like, "Hey, if you see the equipment manager, ask him for a puck." And I did, and he ignored me.
See, you're supposed to just give him like the cute eyes. Also, the Leafs lost.
Yeah, he probably wasn't too happy.
Leafs were winning when he gave SL the puck. So
Okay.
thanks to Austin, who scored the Game 3 game winner. By the way, distant past, just ancient history at this point. No one cares.
Listen, I'm just I
Someone tweeted me, "Yeah, that's all he's done."
Also, thank you again,
Okay.
Adam, for taking me to the MasterCard seats last night.
Hey, no problem, man.
That was an incredible time. I felt like a child again.
It was very cool.
Watching these grown men play hockey, it was a lot of fun.
You didn't mention how much you can smell them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can I throw this out there? Did Pierre McGuire tap the Boston Bruins on the bum a few times while you were there?
Yeah, it was
Should we not be talking about
annoying.
that?
Yeah, it was super annoying. Talking to Brad Marchand a lot too.
Yeah, he did that a couple times last night, and I was like,
too.
I mean, they're-
far too chummy
well, I mean, they
for
probably
my
hang out
for
all
my
the time.
liking.
Like they're probably together all the time. Like they're people, right? I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt.
I
here.
think if you're between the benches and you're talking to the players, you're on the mic or you're not talking to them.
Ooh.
But who am I?
Now, if he was tapping Austin Matthews' bottom,
Still no. Like, what if he's going, "Hey, you know what I think I see"? Like, don't talk. Like, I don't care. That guy coached in the National Hockey League. It didn't go great when he was the head coach, but he was also an assistant coach. What?
You're too nice.
It didn't go great when he was a head coach, but I think I'm pretty sure, did you notice he had a cup ring?
he's a cup ring.
I'm pretty sure he had a cup ring from when he was an assistant coach with the Penguins.
Did Ron Hainsey get him that?
No.
This would be the Lemieux,
Was it
Yager,
last
Francis
year?
Penguins.
Yeah, but where would
Wait, was
Lemieux
Francis
be?
on the team then?
Yes, he was.
It was okay.
Where would Lemieux be without Ron Francis?
You're right. I'm just listen, man. I thought that was funny. I was like, oh, I didn't know that you were now. But I guess
I wanted
because
to
if you're-
stick my mouth through the hole and go, "Stop talking."
If NBC
That's not cool. Stop
NBC
it.
runs a lot of Bruins games because they're
Yeah.
often the national feature. So he would be a guy who's seeing the Bruins, the Blackhawks, all the California teams of the team.
Rangers.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Rangers, like teams that are on the national game all the time. So I'm just
Okay.
trying to play both sides here, but I found it weird too.
That's not your friend.
Found it weird too.
I found
not-
nothing wrong with it.
That's not
I
your
think
friend.
you do your thing, Pierre.
Yeah, whatever.
I support you.
Hey, man.
That's not your
He
friend.
makes a lot more money doing this than I do. And he doesn't really do this, and I don't really do what he does. But he still makes a lot more money than I
No,
do.
it's funny. It's funny you brought that up. I forgot. I mean, the Leafs won, so I didn't feel the need. But yeah, that was weird, and I didn't appreciate it.
My point is this: in all this random talk that we've had, it's a process.
Yeah.
Do the Leafs have holes? Yes. Is Boston exploiting them? Yes. Is the series over? No, absolutely not. As you said in your video today, my friend, the Leafs from 2013 were a garbage dump.
I don't know
team.
how they
were
didn't
so
finish
bad,
last.
but
I don't
they
know
came
how
back.
They didn't finish last.
They're bad. They only had 2.5 lines.
It was amazing. Like, go back and watch the Bruins versus the Leafs, and then watch the Bruins versus the Penguins in the conference final that same year. They swept them. They killed them. The Penguins weren't in that series for a millisecond. How the hell did the Leafs force 7? I don't get it.
Hey, remember when the Penguins lost?
Just kidding. I do get it. James Reimer.
In like the second round, and we were introduced to a guy named Mark Madden who said that Malkin or Crosby needed to be traded. Mostly Malkin.
I think the lesson to be learned there was don't overreact.
Bingo. And let's not overreact. This is the beginning of the process. Listen, when was the last time the Leafs made the cut or the Stanley Cup playoffs? 2 years in a row. We were not even in high school. Is the answer?
2003, and
Who are
then
we talking
2004.
down the ledge right now? Who is overreacting?
Oh boy, who aren't we?
Dude.
Everyone.
Who are these people who
Jesse,
are?
were you on hockey Twitter today?
No.
Oh, that's
tell,
why.
tell me
There-
about it.
Oh,
Who
very
are these
smart.
people who are overreacting about the Leafs?
Everybody.
Because all I've seen is balanced takes.
It's because you work at a professional sports organization. So, hey, let's talk about the rest of the first rounds.
I'm also
First
kidding.
of all, hey, congrats, Austin Matthews, on being the hottest selling jersey in the NHL.
Oh, very good.
Also, first round so far has been interesting in the NHL because
The 2 series are done at the time we're recording
Well,
this.
yeah, 'cause
by the
it's
time
been-
we're done, there might be more.
it's been
The
like
Jet series is over too. It's 4-0 in the first period.
yeah.
Ooh, wow.
Famous last words.
Yep.
What?
Well, imagine.
See, Jesse said
Minnesota
it, so
comes-
it's going to hold.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Because if Minnesota comes back, this will just be a hilarious.
But what is
clip.
the thing? Famous
famous
last.
last words? It's the thing that it's your foreshadowing event.
Yeah. No, that one's still pretty common.
No, that's an
it's
old
very
people
No,
thing.
it's definitely an old people thing, but I give them that one. I give them that one.
I'm an old person in a young person's body. Are you guys surprised by this? Come on.
54-year-old, 30-year-old Adam.
Jesse asked me on my birthday. He's like, "How do you feel about turning 30?" I'm like, "Great." And he's like, "I figured you would."
Yeah. Adam was disappointed he wasn't 40.
I'm so excited to wear jeans and sneakers. It's gonna be great.
Just Seinfeld sneakers. Banana.
The first round so far has been a couple sweeps and probably a third one, and then a bunch of 3-1s.
A third one. No, Minnesota's got one.
Oh, sorry. okay.
One. It was a weird. Whoa!
Oh, we almost lost the camera.
Yeah, camera fell on Jesse there,
So we
which
got-
is weird because none of you could see it.
I want to go through quickly. How are we feeling about the fact that the Golden Knights and LA Kings? By the way, you guys both didn't pick the Golden Knights to win that series.
We were both
You
wrong.
Silly bananas. But also, the entire score for those 4 games total was 7-3.
No.
Yes, the Kings scored 3 goals. The Knights scored 7. That was the series.
That's insane. I saw some stat. It was Jonathan Quick had like a 9.45 save percentage in the series and got swept. That's got to be the best save percentage in a sweep.
I wonder.
Ever.
That's a good question.
Yeah. I should have asked SN Stats that. That's so crazy.
Crazy, right? The Sharks and Ducks. The Ducks are starting to regress, man. Can we just be honest about that?
Or are the Sharks crazy legit? Boy, they look good.
That's not a bad
Ducks
point.
didn't look good all
They
year.
look good.
man.
It could be a combination of two. You know what? The Ducks didn't look great all year, but they somehow got second in the Pacific. Is it because the Pacific's not that great?
I don't know. Good
Yeah.
question.
I am interested to see Vegas play a non-Pacific team because I had a few people saying like, well, that division just sucks, which may be the case, but
Hey, it is what it is.
well, they're going to have to take on the Sharks now, aren't they? I think. Isn't that what the next round is?
I think so. Let's just stick with this one for a second.
Sure.
Predators, Avs. Any chance Avalanche come back in the series?
Wouldn't it be a great story?
It would be.
Wouldn't it be a great story? Like I was saying in the video today, like with regard to the Leafs, like mathematically, no. the Leafs don't look like they can come back. And no, I don't think Andrew Hammond can help you beat the President's Trophy winners. But wouldn't it be great to see?
It's not happening.
Wouldn't it be
The
great?
second coming of the Hamburglar rising from the ashes.
Would the Hamburglar 2.
It's not happening at all.
Electric Burgerloo.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
The Hamburglar 2, this time with extra cheese.
Oh, the double decker.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, sorry.
Last time Andrew Hammond won an NHL game.
Oh, I saw this. I know the answer, Adam.
The last time he won an NHL game.
I know the month and year.
Can I just give the year? Because I don't know them. Okay, I'll just guess. I'm going to say October 2016.
It was April 2016, I believe.
April 9th, 2016. It's been over a year since he won an NHL game, but he's going to start.
Over 2 years.
Over 2. It's
Oh,
2018,
over
bro.
2, sorry. And he's going to start against the Predators, who are the best team in the National Hockey League, and he's going to get torched.
He might. Or the reason that we watch sports. Something cool might happen.
Man, that's what I love about sports. You're right.
It's so true.
Something amazing might
You're right,
happen.
man. Devils and Lightning, who genuinely seem to hate each other. Like, it was cool to see Brian Boyle's eyes looking at Sergachev and going, "I'm going to kill you."
Yep.
Like, that is a...
Boyle's got just this switch that
Yeah.
he flips. I love it.
And I believe he sure got speared. And hang on, there was a play that, like, they just genuinely hate each other.
You're thinking of the Hartman spear?
No, I'm
the
not.
Preds
No, the
stuff.
And he
Hartman
got
spear was.
suspended.
Yeah.
There have been so many suspensions. I like it. I don't even know.
It's
None of
been
them as long as
ridiculous.
Yeah,
Caddies.
it was Hedman. Hedman speared Heischer. Sorry.
Nico.
And he called it an immature play by me. And it's funny what gets suspended, what gets called now versus what happened in the regular season. Everybody was talking about Brad Marchand making Mitch Marner basically eat ice yesterday. And I was
coming in 2-on-1.
yeah,
what he does.
like whatever. Okay,
Rat.
fine. But I wonder about this stuff. Like, Morrissey gets one game for cross-checking a guy in the face. Pretty vicious, man.
I don't know. I'm
And he
dumb.
only really got the games because he didn't get a penalty on the play.
Right.
I think if he had gotten thrown out of the game, he would have got nothing. He would have got a fine.
Hey, Kadri got both.
That's true.
Not bitter at all.
But his
Sure would have been nice to have him in that game. Well, anyway,
The Capitals.
Steve, are you upset?
I'm not mad, nor have I ever been mad.
The Capitals Blue Jacket series has finally become a series. And I don't know if you saw John Tortorella's press conference last night.
Very John
We're stuck.
Tortorella.
I don't know what you want me to say. Boom. Out.
Yeah.
He said they laid an egg.
They laid an egg. Caprice was sitting there going, "Who was that?" She's like, "I like him."
Well, Caprice, you see, every now and then, this Italian man comes out
Oh, God.
and he yells with his hands and then storms away.
Does he work at that Italian place in Boston?
Hey, sit down. What do you want?
He moonlights at an Italian place in Boston. My mom laughed really hard at that part. She told me.
Oh, yeah? That's cool.
Yeah.
I think that series, though, I mean, how many games have gone overtime now? 3, 4? It's like the Capitals.
I think at least 3, yeah.
I feel bad for Caps
3.
fans because that was the same series with the Leafs last year. Every game went to overtime. And you must
Oh,
at this
shut
point,
up. That's exciting.
You're getting like gray hairs by now.
By now? Oh, no.
They had them long ago?
They're, oh, yeah. They look like, what are they? Winter walkers? Whatever. Yeah.
Winter Walkers.
No,
That's called a Canadian thing.
Oh,
sir.
yes.
Okay.
Very, very much so.
White Walkers is
White
what
Walkers,
you're
thank
looking
you.
for.
Winter
White
Walkers.
The Game of Thrones is the television show.
Which makes sense as to why I screwed up the
Best
reference.
television show in history. Steve won't watch it.
Let's see, that's
It's not
aggressive.
won't watch it. I just don't have
I don't have the time, guys.
months.
I don't have the time.
Also, I know everything that happened.
Right, yeah.
I don't think you do.
No, I don't think you do.
I was willing to
I think they're
spend.
called White Walkers.
I was willing to spend 5 months listening
You know
to
those
Harry Potter on
frosty
audiobook
guys?
because
You know.
I knew
You know those
I didn't know
snowmen?
any of it. I think I was explaining myself.
I think you watch you listen to Harry Potter, you can watch Game of Thrones.
Flyers, Penguins.
Can I listen
any,
to Game of Thrones on audiobook?
Any chance
Yes.
Flyers
Oh,
and
yeah.
Penguins come back?
A Song of Ice and Fire.
No.
No. See, that's the thing with the 3-1 series. It's like it doesn't feel like any of the. It feels like they're all done.
Well, I mean,
Like everybody's looking. Let's be honest. Everybody's looking at the Toronto Boston series and going, "It's over." I don't think it's over. I don't feel like it's over. I think Toronto can make this a series, and I think they can win it.
Don't the Leafs seem a little closer to the Bruins than the Flyers do to the Penguins?
They do, but the Flyers did blow out the Penguins that one time. The Penguins.
That one time. And ask Flyers fans how great they feel about that. About as good as the Leafs fans feel about Matthews getting the game winner. That is how as bad.
Is Pittsburgh going to have the easiest road to the conference finals? Because that's the way it's looking right now.
What would it look like? Go through it.
So they play Caps or Columbus next round, which looks like it's going to go 7 games, and they're going to beat each other up. And Pittsburgh's going to come out of there, and be good after tonight. They're going to have the rest of it off.
So one saving grace.
If I'm the Penguins, I don't want to see Columbus.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
want
a
to see
team.
Bobrovsky and Seth Jones. No thanks.
It's a team that just they don't like. Just
They
have a
hated each other
really
from
difficult
last year.
time.
And remember, I think Pittsburgh won that series, but it wasn't like a domination of that series, was it?
No, it was. I believe it was Fleury stole the thing.
Right, because Matt
But
Murray was
wasn't it
injured.
in a short amount of games? Wasn't it like 5 games or something?
I don't remember, but like the amount of games doesn't necessarily dictate how close
The
a series was.
Yeah.
Like my favorite example is I want to say the 2010 Memorial Cup or not Memorial Cup, OHL playoffs. It was either 2009 or 2010 OHL playoffs. John Tavares, Nazem Kadri, and the London Knights. It must have been 2009. John Tavares, Nazem Kadri, and the London Knights take on Taylor Hall, Ryan Ellis, Greg Nemish, Adam Henrique, and the Windsor Spitfires. Second round. Spitfires win in 5. All 5 games went to overtime. Only time that's ever happened. As close as a series can get, 5 games. That's what it is, man.
Pittsburgh won in 5 games last year versus Columbus.
I felt like, and there was just hatred on that ice. They hate each other. Now,
I mean, if I was a Metro team, I'd hate the Penguins too.
The thing is, I feel like the Penguins have just the mental edge over the Caps. They've just been there and they've done that. Do you know what I mean?
They're just waiting there. They got beer bottles on their fingers. Capitals, come out to play.
Oh, you know that cool calendar you guys had in your dressing room? Where did that go?
Oh,
Were you
so
gonna
good to see you again.
only 16 more wins? Yeah, I don't think so.
Maybe this time will be different. I mean, maybe it will be.
It might be.
Watch it. And you know, Capitals fans are listening right now going, God, I want them to beat them.
As I would be
They're
if I were
me.
listening to a Capitals podcast going, the Leafs will never beat the Bruins, right? If they said that about me, I would be like upset. I still think the Capitals have it this year. I just do.
Also, how dare any Leafs fans cheer for Nazem Kadri
Right.
and not upstanding citizen Tom Wilson.
Jesse, go ahead, man.
I
What?
forgot about that one.
I just think rest was going to play an important factor like it always does every year. And if the Pittsburgh Penguins can finish it off tonight, which it looks like they will versus the Philadelphia Flyers, and Caps and Blue Jackets go 7, Pittsburgh's going to have a nice, cushy, 5 days off, and they're going to
They'll
be...
rusty, Jesse. Because remember, when you played hockey,
They'll be
your entire
Brian
life-
Rusty.
Damn it!
Oh,
Damn it!
whoa,
You
you
beat
were
me
both
to it.
going there.
You beat me to it.
You know, here's the thing. Okay, do we believe that that's a thing, by the way?
Brian Rusty? No.
Can you get Brian Rusty for a couple games? Like you take 5 days off, you play hockey for 100 games, and then you get. I'm including preseason in that.
Yeah.
100 games of hockey.
Only
and then
if
you
you
take
have a-
5 days off, and you're somehow not
I
good.
think it's really good for your team.
Yeah.
I think so too. It's
I
gotta
think
be,
it
right?
can only benefit you.
It's
if
not
you,
like you're not on the ice.
and all those little injuries that we hear about, people playing through punctured lungs and all that.
Broken sternums.
Broken sternum. 5 days off can only help all of that stuff.
you can get a lung replacement in that time.
if you're an
get a brand new
NHL
lung.
player.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get an
Yeah,
iron
you'll
lung. And if someone hits you in the chest, they break their elbow.
There was so much "Please love my sport" when that punctured lung thing
I think
came
that's
out.
one of the best things that Greg is. I think that was a Wyshynski thing that he's
Yeah.
come up with. Is that please love my sport? What was the please love my sport or the Bergeron thing?
Yeah, the Bergeron one. Yeah.
Oh.
There was so
Imagine
many.
Parise had played a few more games and then we found out. Oh, the please love my sports would be off the chart.
anyways.
Now, we do
Yeah,
know,
well, his lungs fell out.
we do know that today. Oh, I got a question for you. If the Jets win their next game, they will move on to the second round.
Yeah,
Great,
they are
right?
going to win tonight.
It will be their first time in the second round of the playoffs
Ever.
since the year before we were born. Stephen
No,
Dangle. I was
because
just,
no.
Well, because on Tim and Sid
No.
today, Jesse's show, I saw I saw them say it's the Jets' first time to the second round since 1987.
No.
And I think the way that works is that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure the Winnipeg Jets have never been to the second round
Now,
because that
We
is
refuse to acknowledge that.
let's talk
talked
about
about it.
let's talk about being difficult. So, how about we word it like this? This is the first time since 1987 that a team named the Winnipeg
Very-
Jets
accurate.
has made it to the second round. Can we settle on that? Is that one okay? Are we good? Did that satisfy you grammatically?
You know what bothers me?
That? What?
That bothers me. It's the city the record happened in.
Yeah.
It's the city the record happened
No,
in.
Adam.
That belongs to that
People in
city.
Glendale
Really care
were
about
sitting
Jamie
there
Solani.
in the early 90s
Watching
and
him and Ty Domi.
just watching Dale Howardchuck with bated breath every night, just clutching their Dale Howardchuck jersey, going, God, I hope the Winnipeg Jets pull this off.
I've heard of Winnipeg, said guy from Scottsdale.
They were walking around they were pacing their living room, decked with Dallas Eakins and Alexei Zhamnov posters, and Bob Essenza and Nikolai Habibulin.
And Alexander Steen.
And
Thomas Steen.
Thomas Steen.
That's right.
How dare you? Clearly, you're not a longtime Arizona Jets fan. How dare you not know that?
I'm surprised, by the way, the Jets, the Arizona team didn't keep the Jets. Because isn't there like a significant military presence in Air Force training
According to
in
you, they
Arizona?
should have been the yoga instructors or something like that.
Arizona Yogis.
The Arizona Yogi Blairs.
The Arizona Let's Stretch by a Rocks.
So the Winnipeg Jets, they have a Hall of Fame that they have in their arena. And the members of the Hall of Fame are
Ilya
Danny
Kovalchuk.
Heatley. Evander Kane, Mark Savard,
Nikolai Habibulin?
Kelly Buckberger.
Did Habibulin play for
No,
the Thrashers?
Habibulin was on the Coyotes the whole time. Sorry, go ahead, Jesse.
it's a bunch of guys who never played for them. So it's always fun when they have Bobby Hall,
Why?
Dale Howardchuck.
Wait. No, say this again.
Bobby Hall.
No, which Hall of Fame is this?
This is the Winnipeg Jets Hall of Fame.
Oh, okay, good.
But they keep with the tradition of the original Winnipeg Jets, but in the
As they
record
should.
books,
Which is so
they don't
dumb.
get any of the records. So
cares?
it's so confusing
Win a cup.
that they're allowed to have this Hall of Fame and do everything, have the banners, and then the NHL won't give them back the records.
You know
Well,
what'd
you're
be
letting
super
them do
cool?
all of these extra things. Let them have their records.
You know, it'd be super cool if the NHL stopped being difficult about this and just gave them their damn records back.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know if it's the NHL.
Do you
I
think the
it might be-
Coyotes care? Do you think the Coyotes really care? Do you think
Apparently
Aaron
they
Gilroy
do.
cares?
The only indication we've ever been given is they care.
The most okay, fine. The most stable that Coyotes franchise has ever been is when it was in Winnipeg, the original time. That's the most stability that franchise
true.
has ever seen.
It's very
the
true.
WHA and NHL years in Winnipeg, and they were so financially unstable there they had to move them to Arizona for more instability, and so bad the NHL had to buy them. Give up the records, guys. You have no clout.
You ever seen? There's this little meme, like these two stick figures. One stick figure's walking up with like a picture they drew, and they just go, "I made this," and they hand it to the other stick figure, and the other stick figure's holding it and just goes, "I made this."
What?
That's the Coyotes with here. Look, here's everything Dale Howardchuck ever did. Or here's everything Dale Howardchuck ever did for us, and the Coyotes just went, "Here's everything Dale Howardchuck did for us." Here's everything Bobby Hull did for the storied franchise of the Winnipeg Jets of Arizona. Stop.
Because when you really think about it, franchise means nothing to a fan.
Nope.
Franchise means nothing to a fan.
No, nothing means more to a fan than corporate allegiance.
Right?
Most assists in a season for the Winnipeg Jets, Mark Savard.
Winnipeg Jets legend Mark Savard was on our show previously, by the way. You might want to check out our last episode.
Woo, set that record in 2005, 2006,
That
everybody.
was a good winter in Winnipeg.
Great year in Winnipeg, yeah.
Wow.
I hope the Jets hold a ceremony I hope like second round, like you know how the Predators kept bringing out like superstars to sing the anthem, and they have some guy standing in the tunnel with a rally towel. Okay, we have historic Winnipeg Jets goaltender Pasi Nurmanen. Just going nuts. Most of you aren't even laughing because you don't know who that is.
I know who that is.
Good for you, Adam, knowing who that is.
His hockey card.
Damian Rhodes. Like,
Why
come
are you
on.
the SNL guy?
Saturday Night Live, featuring Alexei Zamnov, Kelly Buckberger, other guy, Ray Ferraro,
Well done.
longtime Winnipeg Jet.
Ray Ferraro.
And don't ever forget it.
Don't forget it.
Don't forget Garnet Exelby. Just swinging that towel like, and the Jets fans are going nuts.
White out!
White out! Yeah!
For nobody watching.
Garnet Exelby to come back and drop a ceremonial first
Garnet
puck.
Exelby.
For people not watching, Steve is panting while waving his rally towel. He's doing it very aggressively.
Just going nuts. Kari Lehtonen. All kinds of...
Now, can you bring back Kovalchuk if he plays for the
Yes,
Rangers?
because his draft rights still belong to the Coyotes or the Jets or both. Maybe he's got to play for one team.
Half his games for one and
then-
half for the other.
And then he's got to fly to... Listen, John Tortorella can moonlight as a pizzeria owner in Boston. Surely Kovalchuk can play on two
This has gone
NHL
off
teams
the
at the same
rails.
time. I'm going to have no voice
You
tomorrow.
know, the winningest coach in franchise history for the Winnipeg Jets
Yes,
is
let
Bob
us-
Hartley.
Shut up.
He got them all the way to a first-round loss.
I believe it's Bob Artley.
Hartley.
He's,
yes,
he's
that's
French
right.
Canadian.
Remember when Kurt Fraser was the coach of the Winnipeg Jets?
Yeah. Sure do.
And Don Waddell for a third of a season? Don Waddell. They went through 3 coaches in a season. The
They
Thrashers.
did?
Kurt Fraser, Don Waddell, and I think Waddell was the GM, and then Hartley took over. And then he was there for 3.5 years.
I want to know what the record is and how far off that is.
What do you mean?
For most coaches in a season.
That's a good question. I got to think the Jets, or not the Jets, the Devils would be up there because there was a couple seasons where Lou kind of just stepped in.
Oh, I'm sorry. You mean the Flames?
the Jets?
Or whoever the Devils used to be?
No,
Weren't
the
they
Devils
like...
were always the Devils, I think.
No.
The Mickey Mouse Devils.
No, they used to be someone else.
Did they really?
I'm pretty sure.
Maybe the
Oh,
California Golden Seals?
No, they were the Colorado
They were the
Rockies.
Colorado Rockies.
Don Cherry was a Devils coach?
And before that,
Yeah. Don Cherry, all-time New Jersey Devils leader.
before that,
So why is he not cheering for the Devils in the playoffs right now?
Before that,
Before
they were
that.
the Kansas City Scouts.
Wow.
So technically, Kansas City won a couple cups with Brodeur.
Kansas City's best coach is now one of the lead guys on Hockey Night in Canada.
Good for you, Kansas City.
Kansas City.
You've done a lot.
Kansas
Wow,
City.
well done.
Hey, shout out to all our Kansas City listeners.
Kansas
Shout out
City
to
Scouts.
Kansas City.
I actually
Yeah,
think we do have a
surprising.
ton of Kansas
Yeah,
City
surprising.
listeners.
I just
I wasn't being facetious. I mean, I'm serious.
well, I'm not being facetious when I say it's great that Connor Hellebuck is nominated for the what?
No, go ahead.
It's great
Don't be facetious here, Steve.
I won't be.
say your very serious thing that you're about to say about Winnipeg.
I just think Connor Hellebuck getting nominated for the Vezina is great because he was guided by Winnipeg Jets great Norm Miracle. And it's nothing short of a miracle that he's having this much success this season.
Would you say it was a miracle on ice?
I would. And I would I would also say that Patrick Laine has probably learned a thing or two from Per Svartvedet.
Wow.
You just
Sorry, I'm on their hockey TV right
running
now.
through the Flasher line
Oh!
now.
Jesse, I'm
Okay.
sorry. I can't be interrupted. With
With your very
surely,
non-facetious thing.
well, because Blake Wheeler's a great leader, right?
Is he?
Is Patrick Stefan the best draft pick in Jets history?
Easily. Only behind Nat Domenichelli. Wow, no wonder they finished last.
Andrew Burnett, Ray Ferraro, Nelson Emerson. That's a name. Hey, and Donald Audette.
Mike
next,
Stapleton. He's
Adam?
not even the best Stapleton I can name.
Let's move on. Let's move on. And there's not the less good Cabriolet was on that team as well. František.
I just want to say that Rick Tabaracci played for the Winnipeg Jets.
Tabaracci.
Tabaracci
All
again.
right, Bill Peters is out in Carolina. He could have made $1.6 million being the coach of the Carolina Hurricanes. But the way things are going down there, not really a surprise that he opted out. Elliot Friedman was on Sportsnet 960 The Fan with Boomer today, and he said that it's literally like they're going to make it happen. Peters is going to Calgary. It's going to happen. They met in Banff. It's happening.
Yeah, it's done.
I'm still not sure why they didn't take Alain Vigneault. That's my dude. I don't know why that's
Maybe it's
not
a
your
mutual
fault.
thing.
Is it your dude because you're also a French Canadian?
Might be. Might be my French Canadian heritage getting in the way again. French Canadian bias.
Yeah, I think you're blinded by all of that blue in Quebec.
It might be bleu blanc et rouge.
Whoa. Easy.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Do you know what Andrew Berkshire tweeted at me today?
I don't know English here, Adam.
Sorry. Do you know what Andrew Berkshire tweeted at me today?
Hey, Adam. Way to let your
that your
type
Andrew
around here.
Now, Skeeter.
Hey,
He's not
Habs
doing
fan. Way to let your kind around here.
Andrew said.
Oh, scratch it off on your bingo boards.
Andrew
Everybody,
said,
shut up.
he said, you know, the thing I like about Brad Marchand is he's the modern day Doug Gilmour.
Who said that?
Andrew. At me.
That's offensive.
At me. And I said, Andrew, how could you do this to me? And he's like, easily, Adam, easily.
Oh,
Someone
because
tweeted back and they're like, you mean Montreal Canadiens legend Doug Gilmour? And I was ready to flip the table. I was done.
last night.
We're calling him right now.
Are we going to call him?
Yeah, we're calling
We
him
don't
right
have
now.
the headphones to call him.
Yeah, we don't. That's
I'm texting him right now and saying our friendship's done.
last night. I caught Adam looking at Marchand, and he had a smile on his face. So I don't
Why
know.
were you a dick like I was?
Oh,
I'm the
I
reason
don't
they
know
lost.
what that means about our friend. Is he a Canadians and Bruins fan? Does he just hate everything about Toronto and supports everything that's against Toronto?
So it's tough for him because he hates the Leafs and the Bruins so much, but the game was in Toronto and he would get to see the most sad faces if the Bruins won. So that's what he was going for. Maximum sadness of enemies.
Yes, because the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yes. Also, he's a rat. Just like Marchand.
That's aggressive.
Did you just call Berkshire a rat?
No, you.
Oh, me?
Adam told me we're no longer friends.
I didn't tell you that. You said that. Don't put words in my mouth.
Wait, said
I
what?
think
I
we
said,
should put
Adam
more
told me about
words
the
in your
Gilmore.
mouth.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you said I told you to say that you're no longer
Adam
friends.
told me. That's all I'm giving him.
Good.
He'll know.
So I'm going to read something to you.
Oh.
And this came out yesterday, and I'm actually quite surprised it did not make bigger news, although I'm sure in Ottawa it was big. Mayor Jim Watson has questioned Eugene Melnyk, and he says, are you serious? So I'm going to read this. This is from the Ottawa Senators, and this is about the LeBreton Flats. Mayor Watson wants the owner of the Ottawa Senators to say once and for all whether he's committed to one of the biggest redevelopment projects in the city's history after sensing wishy-washy language from Melnyk during a recent fan forum where the hockey mogul was asked about the mammoth LeBreton Flats
Are
transformation.
you telling me Eugene Melnyk's mouth got him into trouble again?
Here's the quote. My question is, are you serious? This is from Mayor Watson. Are you dead serious that you want to continue on this process? And if he says yes, then great. We roll up our sleeves and we work towards finding a solution that everyone can live with, and then we put shovels in the ground. If he's constantly hedging his bets on whether or not he wants to move, he better tell us because he better tell us that because that will really send us back to square one. And I suspect that the NCC, I don't know what that is, would have to go through a new process of request for basically permits and all that stuff, right? And this is where it gets a little bit complicated. Melnyk said he's hedging on LeBreton after analyzing the amount of development that's planned near the site, but he has mused about staying in Canada. This is from the mayor.
Now,
We're not going to waste our time and waste their time and waste the public's time if Mr. Melnyk keeps changing his mind on whether or not he wants an arena downtown or he doesn't want an arena downtown. Fair. Unless he changes his mind and lets us know formally, we're going to sit down and do our best to try to come up with an arrangement to get shovels in the ground as soon as possible, said the mayor. Ready.
We're about to find out how deep Eugene Melnick's pockets are by the amount of hit pieces written about the mayor.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think so.
No, it's just this one time.
You meant Eugene Melnick just single-handedly, completely alienated all the media.
No, it's just this one time in this movie I saw. There was this mayor who didn't want the local hockey team's owner to grift the citizens of the town. And a lot of people wrote nasty things about the mayor after that. And it's just, I don't know, this reminds me a lot of a movie I saw. It was based in a Canadian town, too, is the funny part. Yeah.
I'm not getting this at all. This is going right over my head.
I think the movie took place in Calgary.
Keep going. Keep going.
Oh, that movie.
It was a good movie, Adam.
Yes.
It's a great movie. Jesse saw it.
You mean
I guess you haven't.
You mean the time that I think in that movie, the league says, quite frankly, that they're not going to get involved in any sort of politics.
Because they don't do that sort
They
of
don't
thing.
do that sort of thing.
No.
Not to further their business interests.
No.
Absolutely not. And yet, funnily, it seems in the movie that they sort of did.
Yeah, the movie, I don't know, it had a lot of plot holes. Like, they had 3 lockouts and fans still watched. I just don't believe that.
Right.
But
and a team that they're talking about that really, easily could have made the playoffs this year and didn't, or that year, so they didn't make the playoffs. That's not, no team falls off like that.
I
Weird.
really like
It's
the
impossible.
part.
Impossible.
I like the part where they traded Dougie Hamilton to the Toronto team. But, it just reminds me of a movie. It's interesting. But
Mayor
will
Watson
that
did
happen this time? Because, unlike in the movie, Eugene Melnick has no money.
Mayor Watson did say also he's not interested in subsidizing the arena.
Oh,
The city will not pay for the arena.
God, the parallels.
How soon until
this movie?
the Toronto Senators are playing in the same building as the Leafs?
The Markham
And,
Senators.
no, they'll have to share the Scotiabank Arena.
Yo, Scarborough Sens.
coming 2018
Scotiabank
September.
Center.
Yo.
What is it going to be called? Scotiabank Center or Arena?
Yeah,
Center?
Arena.
Okay.
Arena.
Well,
I thought
when
it was
the
Center.
I thought it was arena.
Okay.
Okay.
Arena,
Arena, I think.
Scotiabank Building.
I trust Adam.
Why?
He hasn't even seen the movie I was talking
Adam
about.
works in the ACC. I saw
That's true.
his private entrance where his limo rolls up and he gets escorted around the building in his limo. And Austin Matthews says, "Welcome, sir."
In fact, it's a limo, and there's actually room for limo in the building. So Sasky and I
Yes.
drive in our limo in the building, and the limo drives us around in the building.
And whenever anyone tries to
Mitch
talk to
Marner
him,
is the driver.
Yes.
whenever anyone tries to talk to him, he spits on them.
And then
Right
and then-
at their chest.
and then a backhand across the face.
How dare you?
Very strong.
So I'm just looking forward to the second team in the Scotiabank Arena called the Toronto Senators. They're
wanna-
going to be great. They're going to
And
be great.
All-time leading scorer, Daniel Alfredson. And we bring out some of our all-time greats.
Zdeno
Alexei Yashin. Damian Rhodes again.
Ron Tugnut.
Who could forget Corey Clouston? Dave Cameron. Mustache guy. I forgot his name.
Andrew Hammond.
Andrew
Hammond.
Remember? All-time Toronto Senators great, Andrew Hammond. God, what a story.
My favorite Toronto Senators memory is just Wade Redden's entire career here in Toronto.
Oh,
the
absolutely.
Senators.
I loved when Kyle Turris visited that hospital in Toronto. No.
That might have been a little much.
That's not bad.
That's not
That's
bad.
the line?
I think
Is that the line? That can't be the line.
don't
I'm not making fun of the hospital.
you're making fun of
and
Kyle
then
Turris.
gave the kids at the
No,
hospital.
I'm not. I'm
finger.
making fun of how preposterous it is.
No, I think
It's a callback to the previous bit.
you crossed the line when you brought Kyle Turris into this.
Yeah.
Also,
Should I have
pulled
brought
up-
Matt Duchene instead?
I've pulled up the all-time leading scorers for the Ottawa Senators and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Daniel Alfredson currently has will forever have 1,108 points. That would put him in first place on the Toronto Maple Leafs if he joined this wonderful franchise.
That's great. No, but it won't
glad
be
he played
this
here.
franchise, Jesse. That's ridiculous. It would be the Toronto Senators.
The Scarborough Sens, and I'd actually change them to the Scarborough Mans. They moved
Oh,
to
the Scarborough Mans. Scarborough Man's great. Chris Phillips.
Because they're Scarborough Mans.
And Scarborough Man's great. Brian McGrattan.
So that is interesting about Eugene, that he's wishy-washy about that. After all of the fan forms.
Is it weird?
It is weird because he had 3
It'd be weird if he came to his senses and said the right thing.
3 nights of fan forms, though. 3. I'm not moving the team. I'm not moving the team. No, he's really not moving the team. They're really staying in Canada.
Yeah.
But he reduced the ticket prices of parking from $20 to $12, guys. So what's your excuse now?
If Eugene Melnick handed me this bag of chips and told me this is a bag of chips, I'd have to sit there and seriously question whether or not this is a bag of chips.
What could it be?
Anything but a bag of chips. He said it's a bag of chips, therefore it couldn't be. Who trusts this guy? Anyone?
I don't know how you could.
He's got to take a step back, dude. I don't know, man. I'm kind of.
You know what?
I'm with you, Sens fans. I'm tired of talking about it too.
You know why I don't believe that he's going to sell?
Why?
Because if he was going to sell, he would be quiet.
Because you don't want to screw up the sale.
He's not selling this team. Absolutely
See,
not. You're stuck with him,
your
Sens
like
fans.
smart person brain, not his weird lizard person brain. What?
Eugene Melnick and Hillary Clinton, part of the same lizard clan.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Alex Jones.
Hillary Clinton, future owner of the Scarborough Mans.
All right, hey,
I think that's it.
well, we'll get into the press conference.
We did a lot today.
Great. But it's about the lessons we learned along the way.
By the way, do you think Bill Peters is going to be a good coach in Calgary? You even know? I don't even know.
I don't know. Good coaches are bad coaches are good. I'm at the point where I just like watching hockey games, man. I don't know.
Mans.
I'm so, I don't know. I'm sick of opinions. I'm sick of it. So everyone shut up and listen to mine. Listen, I know that's a stupid thing to say, but I don't know. Today was an exhausting day.
So, this is the question for the two of you, because am not a nerd, so I have never seen or read Harry Potter. Because Steve said he was listening to Harry Potter in the car a few times, this is from Crosby00 on Reddit, who got 8 upvotes for this question. Should Hermione have ended up with Harry instead of Ron?
First, can you please put a spoiler ahead of that? Because heaven forbid you ruined it for anybody.
Hey, anybody who hasn't seen Harry Potter by now, get
That
with
was
it.
me. That was me a few months ago.
Either get your shit together or go away. That's my message.
Wow.
I will say that no, Hermione didn't have to end up with Harry. I think their relationship was the way it should have been. I do question whether or not she should have ended up with Ron, who had a really good ability of coming through in the clutch, and he had his funny one-liners, but boy, he did not treat her great a lot of the time. And he, sorry, I don't know why I'm explaining this to Jesse Adam. He did not treat her great a lot of the time. And some things can be blamed on circumstances, such as Horcruxes. But he wasn't the nicest to her.
See, sometimes there are girls who fall for those guys who don't treat them well.
You think Hermione
Is she gonna eventually end up with the good guy
No, because
after she has her Ron phase?
see, I don't think she's a bad boy type because she intentionally brought Cormac McLagan to Professor Slughorn's Christmas dinner and Christmas party, sorry. And she didn't like him because he was very brutish.
But there's a difference
Between who?
between Ron and a brutish
And
boy.
Cormac McLagan?
Yes.
Hey,
Bless you.
I just want to throw this out there.
Adam, what's your opinion on this very
Paul
touching
J.K.
issue?
Rowling tweeted out a few years ago
Oh.
that she thought it was a mistake that she had Ron and Hermione end up together.
I think she's right.
She said it should have been Harry and Hermione. They're very clearly
She's wrong.
She goofed on that. She said that it should have been the two of them. And you know what? I think it should have been Harry and Hermione too.
Harry and Ginny's a little odd.
Well, because there was like
It's just
there was
weird that
no
he
chemistry,
randomly
and then all
loved
of a
her.
sudden after a Quidditch game, And that was it.
The one thing I'll definitely criticize about
You know,
the writing.
Quidditch, it's a sexy sport.
pretty
Yeah.
sexy
You know,
sport.
you're riding
around with
a
that wood
broomstick.
between your legs. You know what I'm saying?
Right, you know what I'm
You got a
saying?
crowbar in your pants. Like Steve told me at
you
our
got a-
live event.
Which is still not your bio. I'm upset about
A
that.
bludger in his pants.
Our Reddit page, Green Spartan 12 wrote,
I
who
wasn't
got
done.
-1. I'm adding to it.
Oh, okay.
Who got -1 on his
That's bad.
on the points. Yeah,
Usually
be-
they're pretty positive over there, except for when it comes to me.
he said
1 point from
Harry
Slytherin.
should have ended up with Luna Lovegood.
Love.
Lovegood.
no.
Is that a thing? Lovegood?
No.
said
I
God.
always thought
Lovegood.
Neville was going to end up with Luna.
Yeah, I did
Lovegood.
too.
But part of me thought, wouldn't Harry and Luna be interesting?
No, because her dad freaking betrayed them.
Oh, that's
They're
true.
so
No
lame.
way.
That's
I
true.
don't want that
No, but I
my
thought that
father-in-law.
before that happened.
Nah, she's a lunatic, man.
Luna is?
I actually
Luna the
think
lunatic?
Luna's quite the nice character.
She's very nice, but she's also like she would be the kind of person who believes the Earth's flat.
Is Luna loony?
No. Oh, do you think the Quibbler would say that the Earth is flat?
The Quibbler is very clearly news of the world, which doesn't exist anymore. But
yeah,
it-
but they ended up being the good guys in the end.
yeah, because they were manipulated, and then her dad
No, they weren't
gave him up. Gave him up.
No, they were the good guys before the government got a hold of them and he kidnapped his daughter.
What is going on?
Lord Voldemort has black helicopters monitoring Hogsmeade, and he stole Luna Lovegood from Xenophilius,
Can I ask another
a
question?
good God-fearing man named Xenophilius. Sorry.
Can I ask another question?
What? Sure, man.
Davy Clarkman for Prez.
Oh yes, I agree.
Prez with a Z, so you know he's serious. This question is for Adam Wilde.
So you know he's running for student council.
Why does Adam hate the Blue Jackets? And more specifically, the way that Torts used to coach. He isn't like that anymore. Adam?
I don't hate the Blue Jackets.
Just eating popcorn into the thing.
I'm trying to think of what I said.
I mean,
I mean-
if anything, I've said I hate the Blue Jackets, and it's just because like they play my team well, and I find that annoying. That's
I
all.
don't hate the Blue Jackets. In fact, I really like.
I don't hate Tortorella either.
I don't either.
I
I'm-
get tired of his antics
I
sometimes.
don't. I also think that I have my opinions on his coaching, and sure, he's changed things up. But I also feel like I've brought up stories before. I guess that last year the Blue Jackets had to sit him down and go, dude, you need to chill. And every time he freaks out like he did last night, I mean, okay, fine, they laid an egg last night. I don't know that they really did lay an egg last night because didn't it go to overtime?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
But maybe they did lay an egg last night, and that's fine.
It did not go to overtime. No.
Oh, didn't
They
that
got
one didn't
like
go to
4-1.
Oh, right, okay.
I think it was the first game that
whatever.
didn't
The
go
first
to overtime.
3 went to overtime, and then in
There
You
it
could be
is.
up
4 they
3-1
got.
then, but you're tied 2-2, and your coach goes on national television and does that. What Jeffler said earlier, which sorry I shouldn't call him that. Jeff Fayette said earlier. We read that tweeted about Mike Babcock throwing Matthews and Nylander to the Wolves, which I disagree with. I don't think he did. I think John Tortorella threw his whole team to the Wolves in the first round of the playoffs. Why? For what reason? What's it going to get you? And if you
thinks
can't
he-
control your emotions, you are I don't care. Everybody's human, but you're the head coach of the NHL franchise, and you've talked and you've talked and you've talked in interviews about reforming yourself. He's talked about this. Oh yeah, guys, John's not like he used to be. I've heard Jarmo Kekalainen say it. That's where I'm like, okay, guys, you're full of crap. This
So
is silly.
he should massage the way he calls them out.
Or don't
In the
talk.
media?
Just don't talk. And
I
that's
think that's.
I think
that's the conclusion that we've come to.
he's highly
is
entertaining.
don't talk.
I freaking love Tortorella for that.
Don't say anything because no one's satisfied with anything you say.
And I think the Blue Jackets, I think it's pretty cool that they fire off a cannon every goal because I'm into that stuff.
I do not.
And Seth Jones is, I don't know, probably my favorite defenseman not playing for the Leafs.
He also has a cool name.
Seth Jones?
Seth-
Yeah, and his
I
dad is
love
freaking
that
Popeye
name.
Jones.
Is
His
he?
dad played in the NBA.
Oh, he's Popeye. I didn't know.
Yeah, he's Popeye
I
Jones'
didn't put
kid.
those two
Yeah.
things together. Wow.
Popeye Jones, who was like a badass in the NBA back in the day. That's what
I
I'm
like
saying.
Sergei Bobrovsky.
He's also great.
He's
Yeah, no, I
pretty
don't hate
good.
the Blue Jackets. I think we often get people think that we hate their city or whatever, or we hate their team based on
I don't hate
a
any
story
city.
that's maybe unflattering to a particular element. But I don't really hate anybody. I I razz Coyotes fans because they're always really funny about it. And they're like, yeah, we know. And I razz Blackhawks fans. And I'm like, Corey Crawford's not that good. Even though he really is.
Blackhawks
fans are like, we know. We're just joking. Come on.
All the bits we have, I think the Blackhawks fans have been the best sports when it
about
comes
the Patrick
to
Kane thing?
No, about the whole. Oh yeah. Oh my God. About both things. I didn't even
They've
think
been
about
hilarious.
that. About the whole 3-time 30 goal scorer thing, and also the no and we.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
We missed the playoffs once.
What's been amazing, actually,
We've been in on it.
in the last year and a half, I've noticed that there have been people. I think people who listen to the show really get that if we're being critical of a team, it's just our opinion, and at the end of the day, we're not like the hate is less bad. You know what I mean? I used to get some vicious comments. I don't get them anymore as much. I still get them.
See, I wonder about that. I'm like, are people cooler, or have I just muted enough?
I don't know. Jesse?
If you met Brad Marchand, what was the first thing you'd tell him?
I'd shake his hand and say hi. I don't know.
No, I wouldn't address him. Like, under what circumstances?
Shut up.
Under what circumstance am I seeing him?
He was walking down the hall right now.
Brad Marchand.
I wouldn't talk
You're
to
not
him.
going to talk to Brad Marchand. You're not going to say, hey, Brad.
No.
Brad Marchand sends
what?
an email to this podcast.
I don't like him.
He says, "Can I come
You
on
don't
and
know
talk
him.
to you?"
Okay, then I would let him on. That's neat.
But if you
Oh,
see
you'd
him,
let him on.
you'd let him.
I wouldn't do it for Gary
Brad
Bettman,
isn't
Brad, but I do it
responsible.
for you.
Brad is not responsible for 3 lockouts. He gets a pass there.
But if you see him walking down the hall in the Rogers building, just casually, you wouldn't say hi?
No.
Really?
That's weird.
I saw John Tavares this summer. I didn't say hi.
You don't like John Tavares?
I just left him alone as he's eating food.
What if Brad Marchand was wearing a necklace that said, "Say hi to me, Steve"?
I'd say, I'd open with, so what's this about?
You would talk to him then.
Yeah.
Okay. Brad Marchand would have to wear a necklace that says, "Say hi to me, Steve," to get you to talk to him.
Boy, that player makes me so mad.
But the guy's probably pretty
Yeah,
nice.
he's probably a good guy.
Yeah, I think that's a psychotic thing about hockey culture that I don't understand, is off the ice, he does genuinely seem like a great human being. And on the ice, he 2-on-1s people. Like, what part of the code is that? Like 2-on-1ing someone, smashing their face into the ground,
I mean,
getting in
when
their
people
face.
say-
Oh, it's playoff hockey. No, man, it's not. He does cowardly things on
I
the
think
ice.
you're very heated right now. I think we asked you this question in 2 weeks. You have a different answer.
Why do I'm not.
If we asked you this question 2 weeks ago, you have a different answer than
I
this.
don't have this thing that I used to have where I'm like, oh, that's so-and-so. Run up to them. Oh, gosh, excuse me, sir. I just be like, oh, it's Brad Marchand.
Yeah, but you're telling me you wouldn't be like, hey, man, nice to meet you.
No,
Jesse, what would you do?
because I'd be initiating the meeting. It's not a friend
What
going,
if he came up and shook your hand and said, Steve, I understand you don't like me, but it's nice to meet you.
that is a perfect understanding of how I feel about him and a great place to start the conversation.
You're being a little aggressive right now, man.
No.
Yes. Come on. Steven. Come on. Are you serious? Dude, if any NHLer came up to me and said, hey, all right, Doug Gilmour was in this building once, and I didn't
That's
bug
your
him.
childhood idol.
I didn't bug him. I didn't say hi to him. Because
Why don't you like him?
I do like him. But you said you don't like
don't
Brad
you like
Marchand. You said you don't like Brad Marchand. I just said I didn't go up to him and bug him because I didn't want to bug him. I understand that.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about it's a social situation and he goes, hey, what's up?
Well, okay. I wouldn't bug them regardless, comma, or I guess different sentence. Also, I don't like him. There. But off the ice, he seems like a great guy.
Yeah.
If he's like, hey, I'd like to partner with you for some sort of charity initiative, I'd be like, gosh, let's do that. Because that seems like the sort of thing he would do.
Man,
But on the ice, he would spear you in the nuts.
Jesse, do you think we could have like a Brad Marchand, Steve Dangle, compromise, like an armistice party or something like that? Something to bring them together?
Yeah, that sounds like
I-
something he'd be really interested in.
I would like to see like a Between Two Ferns type of YouTube show where Steve sits with Brad Marchand and they just try and have a conversation.
And it's just all those episodes of just the two of them.
They
it's just only them.
They try and just talk. And every time they try and talk, Steve snaps.
So I have nothing
And then the
personal
episode
against Brad
ends.
Marchand. Why would I have anything personal against him?
Brad says,
Who's your favorite person you've ever face washed?
that's what you would ask
That
him?
would be a great question.
I think it's a great question.
Yeah.
You ever
Who's-
do
who's-
anything and go, wow, I can't believe I didn't get called for that?
See, but you're asking these questions as a
Those
dick.
are great questions.
No, but he's asking them as a dick. He's being like, "Hey, who's the last guy you speared in the nuts?"
Dude, I would
like,
lo- I would love to watch. I would
That's
so
how
watch
he's
that.
asking it. Brad wouldn't want to sit there and deal with this guy.
Brad would, it would be Christmas morning for him. He loves this. You didn't read that Players Tribune thing about him?
No, I didn't read it. I was like, screw this.
I've been an asshole since I was 11 years old.
What is that?
No, what is it? What is your Brad Marchand impression?
I've been an asshole since I was 11 years
Yes,
old.
Nova Scotian Brad Marchand definitely sounds like that.
And he loves it. And he loves the there was like a Bruins Christmas thing, and he had this book that was like called The Rat or something, and he like pokes his head out from under it and like gives a little wink. He loves it. He loves the role, and he should. It's brought him success.
If he were a Leaf,
and until the NHL does a single thing about it, he should keep it up.
if he was a Leaf, you would adore him.
Yeah, so
Well, I mean, I'm just saying.
until he gets suspended for 5 games and costs my team.
I think.
Like,
we
well,
could
that's never
organize-
gonna happen.
I think
Happened
we could
last year.
organize a sit down between the two of them
I think we,
at some point in like the near.
It'd be a
Also,
great
I think,
interview.
again,
You're
I-
acting like it's this seething. Like I'd just be like,
no, but
for the entire interview, I'd just be like, I would ask him a couple questions. I'd be like, so you've done a couple things that like aren't like typical Rat. It's like it's not cute.
But
Brad.
that's great.
So
this is a great
no,
conversation.
but I also don't think you approach it that
should
way.
I be nice to every guest?
Well, you'd be respectful.
Yeah, you should respect.
I'd be
people.
respectful. I
don't-
wouldn't be like, hey, shithade.
But you can't. I think you're. I don't think you'd be underhandedly disrespectful. I don't think.
No.
I think you would. If he sat down next to you for an interview, you'd be really nice to him.
It'd be the same shit giving that I get. Like, so hey, Steve, like you're always very level headed about things. Like you're very calm, you know, you don't fly off the handle at all.
Mm-hmm.
And the subtext there is I do those things.
You said doo-doo.
Do.
Also, I want to quickly mention.
Different conversation,
I want to
different
do a
day.
quick shout out.
What's the highest you've ever finished in Lady Bing voting? Like, I think
That's funny.
But I don't think you'd ever ask him that.
Oh, I think you would.
I would.
Steve's cojones aren't big enough.
Dude, I would love an interview like that. That would be. I think he would have fun
Huevos.
with that. I think you're absolutely right.
He would
love
have
that.
fun. Oh, he'd be like a
the
pig
best.
and poo.
Okay.
Pig and doo-doo.
All right. So, lastly, Jesse and I were leaving the ACC last night, and we're running into to listeners left, right, and center. People just coming up, taking, shaking our hands, taking pictures. It was cool. And we're taking a picture with somebody, and somebody walks by and looks at me and goes, "Hey, Steve Dangle." Somebody actually confused you and me, which is a first.
I
Has
see the
never happened
resemblance.
before. Huh?
I see the resemblance.
Well, and his name is Teo, and he actually he DM'd me afterwards, and he's like, "Dude, good meeting you last night. Gotta say, you do look like Dangle from behind. Keep putting out the awesome content."
I do not have the wild bum.
Well, I
just
had a
do
jacket
not.
on, so it was kind of covered, so he didn't really get to take a good look at
Maybe it's the
booty.
hair.
Maybe
Brown hair, matching big head. Yeah, I can see it.
I could too. We're about the same like shoulder width too, right?
About the same height, except in pictures.
Anyway, shout out to Teo Simmons. He's a lawyer.
Teo
A lawyer
Simmons.
listens to this show.
Wow.
Crazy.
Wow. Very
Wow.
cool.
Hey man, your hate for Brad Marchand is a little surprising. It really is.
Just talking about him is keeping me from these chips, and it's making me upset.
All right. Well, here's the deal. Jesse and I are flying out on Air Canada on Sunday.
Oh, you guys are both
we can
doing
talk
it.
about this.
Yeah.
Oh, Elliot Friedman retweeted me. That's so nice.
Well, really?
Yeah, on Tim's head. Though.
Oh.
but like it's
That's
still
pretty
me.
Come on. Yeah.
Yeah.
That counts.
We are flying out Sunday to do the exact same thing we did with Boston, the Bruins and the Leafs last week.
Are we allowed to? I don't.
Yeah. So the Raps are going to get killed.
Oh, because we're there?
Yeah.
Every
Or maybe because I won't be there,
they're
they'll
not.
actually win.
every sporting event I've been to this year, the Toronto team has lost.
You're
I've
joking.
been- no, 100% serious.
Man, that's bad.
You've
was
been to a lot.
3 Leaf games I've been to. They've all lost.
No, we saw them beat the Preds.
Ah,
the
I got
Preds.
one. Okay,
There you
never
go.
mind. Never mind. But all the other ones.
All the other ones. That's great.
Anyway,
That's
Sunday
great.
We're flying down. We're flying down. But
I hope you guys
Steve-
have fun.
Steve can't go.
Yeah.
One of the other people going that you're missing out on hanging out with is one Faisal Kamisa.
I know. We were texting about it yesterday. I'm bummed. We keep missing each other on stuff.
So it's going to
Did
be.
you guys like go to Philly or something together?
Yeah, for like 2 seconds. We got to hang out the whole time. It was fun, but
I don't think that's 2 seconds. You went to a whole.
You have a You guys are in a relationship, basically now.
long distance, unfortunately.
For sure. Anyway, so we're gonna hang out with Faisal
Best guys.
on Sunday.
Looking forward to that. I'm
Go
sorry
Raptors.
I couldn't go. I'm glad you guys, because you were like, I'm not gonna go.
No, I'm actually not going.
Shut up.
Now that I know,
Shut up.
Are you 100% not going?
Yeah, right.
I'm not going either.
Shut up.
I stand by my friend.
Except for when it comes to Brad
Work
Marchand.
together.
Yeah, except for when it comes to every other situation. Are you kidding me? Just Brad Marchand?
Jesse was gonna go to Boston and buy a Brad Marchand jersey. That's
Yeah, if they didn't hand me the Leafs jersey when I was getting on the plane, I was going to be a Boston fan for that whole day.
Jesse
to
was
be
going
a
to
jerk.
spend
No, because it would be
$150
fun,
to be a
Adam.
dick.
Not because I'd be a jerk, because I would have had a great time doing it.
Are you gonna wear a Wizards jersey?
No, because they're probably going to hand us another jersey.
No, and also we just found out he thinks wizards are stupid because Harry Potter.
Ah, good point.
Jesse's
I
a
said I'm not a
squib.
nerd. There's a difference.
You know
You're a
what?
squib.
Question for the Reddit page: who should each of the characters actually have married?
Oh my God.
Who should Harry married? Hermione, Ron, even Luna. Who was it?
I think we're done.
I'm about that McGonagall. I want to see what happens when she undoes that bun. Don't you?
Jesus.
I'm kidding. Can we just laugh?
Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Brought to you by Panago Pizza. Order at panago.com and stuff your face with deliciousness.